Hey, internets! It's D&D night again. Oh, nice! Thank you for the additional sub there, Andrew. That's wonderful. So, welcome to the Wily Hobbit Twitch channel. Man, that is. Can you all hear that incredible sound that goes off when a sub comes in? Or am I just the only one because I got headphones on? That's pretty powerful. At any rate, thanks for the sub and welcome everybody. We're going to play some 5th edition Forgotten Realms Dungeons and Dragons. This is episode 3. Mysteries in the Dalelands. So glad to have everybody here. After a while, after we get some folks in chat, we're going to kick off a little giveaway. We managed to pull together 101 followers of the channel. So to thank the followers and subs, we're going to do a little dice gift certificate giveaway. So pretty cool there. All right, so let's get into some information here. Why don't we go around and introduce ourselves? Again, I'm Wily Hobbit, and I'm your host, and I'll be doing some dungeon mastering this evening. We'll go around. We'll start with ladies first. Paige Calavera, tell us about you and your character.
Hi, I'm Paige. You can find me most places. I think on Twitter now I am Keelan Cutie Pie. I think that's what I changed myself to. And today I'm going to be playing Calavera, the Fire Genasi Grave Cleric. Ooh.
Nice. Fire and death. That can only end well. Very good. All right. Thank you, Paige.
She's just having a good time.
Just taking it all in. That's awesome. All right. Let's keep going around the horn. Let's go right below you to Rue. Andrew, tell us a bit about yourself.
Hey y'all, I'm Andrew, aka Fellowship of the Tables, aka Bay of Gifts in some circles. I'm playing Rue Shahar tonight, the human merchant who mysteriously has sneak attack damage for some reason.
How did that happen? I didn't know merchants could get sneak attack damage. I'm going to have to look that in the background in the player's guide because I don't remember that being in there. Yeah, I'm on to you. All right, man. Very good. Mike Fragili, tell us a little bit about yourself, bud. You might be muted.
You're muted.
Well, some things never change. I'm Fragili. I am the follower of the Raven Queen. I am a warlock, but I may as well be a cleric. I revere her. She is my mother as far as I am concerned, and I am out to find every powerful emotion that I can to share with her, whether it's joy, anger, sorrow, jealousy. I'm bringing it all back to her.
Nice. Little intensity there. Awesome. All right, very good. Let's jump over and across the bottom to Algernon. Al.
Hi, I'm Manny, at Growed Up Geek on the social medias. Tonight I'll be playing Algernon Altano, a wizarding student, having a little study abroad, fun and shenanigans.
Yeah, and a little angry right now. He's witnessed the ambivalence toward books and the malfeasance in the care of said books, and he's a little cranky. So hopefully he'll be able to kind of just deep breaths in and out. Yeah. I love it. You'll notice Ronvin is darkened in this evening. Vivacia is not feeling well, so she's going to step out tonight, but we'll catch her hopefully next week. So keep her in your thoughts. And let's go finally into the upper left corner. Circle gets to square. Gears, tell us about your character.
Hey, I'm Dave Wilson on most social medias, particularly Twitter, to Wilson. I am playing Gears, International Mountain of Mystery, apparently.
Excellent. Mystery. We like mystery. All right, I'm going to drop...
Don't look, but there's someone standing right behind you.
Yeah.
I know.
That is weird. I just dropped the Twitter information for the artist who did our character art that you see currently playing as a kind of a slideshow in the center square there. So I'd like to thank Rakole very, very much for some really incredible character art. So if you need art, and in fact, he is in chat. There he is. Good to see you, my friend. And thanks for the follow, by the way. So keep that in mind if you need really cool art. Although that one, I noticed the one of Rue he drew, you can't see Rue's face. I thought that was, like, did you not tell him that was a thing, Rue? Like that paper was blocking your face?
You're better off that way.
Nice. All right, very good.
His face looks too much like mine, so you're better off not seeing it.
Feeling that, buddy. Yeah, feeling that. All right, Andrew, I think you were going to give us a little bit of a recap because it's been a couple weeks since we played. Your DM has a scheduling conflict on occasional Mondays, and I had forgotten all about it, so that was my bad. But tell us what we did last time.
DM has a life.
Just a minimal.
What?
Go ahead.
Oh, you don't want me to read these
No.
800 words? So we started last time. We were in the keep investigating the Spurnick and what was the other guy's name?
Tybeam, yeah.
Tybeam, yeah. Who were formerly scribes and were caught forging some books belonging to the local lord. And so we were we spent some time investigating their scribe work area and their bedroom. We found some tunics in their bedroom hidden away with emblems that seemed to indicate some allegiance to the cult of the dragons, which they had altered in the books that they were forging, which was of interest. We then went to the Red Rock Tavern, where we heard that they had frequented, and so we went there and spoke to the owner, learning that they occasionally met with a scruffy, human-looking man, and left behind a paper which turned out to be a list of gear fit for mountaineering and some sort of venture into the mountains. So in the morning, we went to a shop called the Winding Trail, where we purchased very similar gear and charged it to the keep, which was fun. We also obtained from them a map indicating where these rapscallions seem to be heading. We went back to the keep and told the chief scribe, we negotiated an arrangement with the chief scribe so that we actually get paid at the end of all this. And then basically we headed out with our donkey named Clover carrying all of our gear. We struck off towards the mountains, and that night we were beset upon by 6 wolf spiders, which we took care of with great ease.
What are you saying? Great ease. You saying you need tougher combat? I think that's what I heard. Is that what you all heard?
Awful. Terrible.
I'm sorry. Did you say with great ease?
Oh
I'm
man,
a DM myself. I should know better.
It's just so scary to me.
During watch. That was my fault. So.
Trying to DM a party of first level characters, which, by the way, if you didn't realize that or didn't notice it on the overlay or something, it's not on the overlay, is it? Oh, it's in the scrolling art.
It is, yeah.
Everybody's first level at this point, and probably, they're getting close to leveling up. I'd say within the next, probably before the holidays, we'll get them to second. So it's, it's coming right around the bend there. Yeah, just kidding. All right, so the last bit of excitement that you experienced last session was a little run-in with things that go creepy crawl in the night. Thank you for the tip and the donation. So KY Hawkeye before we get in here, who do you want to donate a D20 reroll to? And thank you very much for that donation. You can give that to yours truly, the Dungeon Master, which I would never do anything untoward with such a gift. Or you can donate that to the party's pool of resources, however you'd like to do that. Just let us know in the chat. So yeah, they're on their way on they guesstimate based on the map and the way things are drawn, maybe 4.5-ish days or so on the road. They're headed to the western foothills of the Dragon Spine Mountains, which run from east to west, north of the Tesh River, north of, I think that's Moonsea, north of Zental Keep. Interesting times indeed. And so it's after your run-in with the spiders. It's late, middle of the night. You all are exhausted. All right, so looks like that went directly to Rue. So Rue, you have, note that, you have a D20 reroll, buddy. So how nice is that? Thank you very much, KY Hawkeye, for that, sir. It's late. You have deceased spiders, some webbing, but all is quiet. It's cloudy still. If you recall, your day was spent kind of in some wet weather as you embarked upon your journey. And you're in pretty much grasslands, small hillocks, not corpses of trees, copses of trees. Yeah. So what would you all like to do? We're into probably second watch by now.
I would like to go back to sleep, please.
Agreed.
Yeah.
I am very worn out and in a lot of pain.
Okay.
That was
Well, I think
not
before
fun.
we rest, maybe I can make you feel a little less.
It'll be okay. Once I go to sleep, I'll feel better. It's happened before. Like, you don't need to worry about that. But I would just very much like to. Oh.
Well, I am going to walk over to Calavera, and I'm going to put my hand on her shoulder and funnel a little bit of the Raven Queen's might into her and give her back a hit point.
Thank you.
All I can do.
Need all the help we can get.
It is enough to bump me over half health.
Right. Yeah, and so maybe you feel this warm energy kind of wash through your body, Calavera, and maybe it helps you relax a little bit and feel a little less pain as you go to sleep.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
I will go over and approach Gears, who handily took out several of the creatures by himself. And I just... You're really tall, right, Dave? You're muted.
They are well over 6 foot tall, yes.
Yeah. I will reach a hand up and put it on his shoulder and just say, I'm glad you're on our side, big guy.
They sit back down and proceed to, with the watch. I forget which watch I was on, to be honest.
I think your third watch with me. We're not watching yet, bud.
All right, that's right. We're in the morning watch, so back to rest.
Is there anyone else who looks seriously hurt who could probably deal with a little bit of healing?
I mean, I took a mandible to the back.
Gears doesn't seem
okay.
to be all that badly off.
I can spare 2 heals for people right now. Who is? I don't know. Who wants some healing? I can throw that in.
Save one for yourself.
Yeah. Save them. We are okay. I am okay.
Are you sure? Multiple of us took mandibles to the back.
I'm okay. Let's just save it.
Please God, let us get a long rest.
I mean, I wouldn't say no to a little bit of healing. That was spiders do not grow that big in the city. I'll tell you what.
Yeah, Calavera will go over, and she'll just kind of reach out. She'll like right where she's like, "Is it okay if this works through touch? Is it okay?"
Certainly, yes.
And she's going to do a first level cure wounds.
Do you have a holy symbol that you use when you do this?
So she doesn't take any holy symbol, like she isn't holding on to one at all, like actively. But as she reaches out and she channels this energy into you, there's kind of this like glimmer of light that you're not expecting, because it's still very dark out. And you glance down, you see that she has a medallion that's maybe that large or so, that is shaped and looks like some kind of flower of some sort that is hanging on her belt. And that is a first level cure wound, so that is 1d8. That is going to be 4 HP.
Well, thank you kindly. I much appreciate that.
Of course.
Should be able to at least get to sleep more easily now.
Okay, does anybody recall who is on second watch? I know Al was on first watch with somebody.
Ronvin and I were on
Ronvin,
watch.
okay. And you all are now able to rest. And so it must be Fragile and Rue who are on second
so,
watch.
yeah.
Is that right? Yeah.
For me.
Yeah,
So
that sounds right.
I assume since you're on watch, you're probably watching. I don't want to railroad my characters into anything, but I think that's safe to assume. So if you would each provide for me a what do you call that, perception roll, I would be much appreciative. It's quiet. It's the cloud. You can tell the ceiling is low. The clouds are down. It's starting to get a little misty and damp, and it's pretty quiet out.
You want these rolls all at once or just the first watch?
This will be for your entire watch period. So just each of you hit me with a perception.
Well, I'm right down the middle. I'm at 11.
Okay.
Battle music.
Andrew, how did you do?
23.
23. Okay. So for Geely, you're just hanging out like, man.
I am not going to get surprised again.
You know what? I'm grooming Clover as we do this. That's why I'm down
Yeah.
at 11.
Brushing the mule. Very nice. Good. Yeah, and she makes mule sounds. I don't know if mules nicker or not, like a horse would, but she seems to be very pleased with your efforts. Kind of stamping a hoof here.
I'm gonna
and there.
make the same sounds back at her.
Yeah, she'll turn around and look at you when you do that. Puzzled. Yeah. Yeah, very nice.
I imagine I'm watching this pretty closely.
Yeah, and you're noticing.
Just standing watching the back and forth.
You're noticing, Rue, the wind that was driving the rain earlier today has dissipated, and it's just quiet. There isn't a movement. There isn't a twitter in the branches. It is dead still, just absolutely dead still. And that stillness, the only thing that really changes during your watch is the thickness and volume of the mist that's now kind of gone from mist to maybe more like fog. And it's interesting because you've chosen kind of a higher place to set up, your camp. And so if you look down off the hill you're on, it's quite thick down there, and it's just kind of it looks like it's just kind of making its way up the hill. But beyond that, it's pretty darn quiet. And that really brings your watch to an end. So you're able to rouse your next watchers and take your turn asleep.
Wake up, Gears. It's your turn.
Okay. Gears rises up smoothly. Glaive at the ready.
Not going to get used to that really quick.
Like the Prince of Darkness. Yeah.
And,
Silhouetted.
Ronnie was on with Gears, is that right? Or,
Nope, it is me.
oh, Calavera.
Calavera. Yep.
Calavera, yes. Assuming that she wakes up.
Okay.
Yeah,
She
I will-
does.
It's like a nasty bite there.
You go to wake her up. She's just
Oh,
dead.
it's dead.
Oops.
Her cell phone
Delayed
goes off.
effect from the poison.
Yeah.
No, I will wake her up and say, you feeling like you can take a watch? You gonna be all right?
I'm feeling much better, actually. Thank you for asking. Just kind of slowly waking up.
Definitely didn't feel like enough sleep. You're just kind of like, tired. Okay. Go ahead.
It'll be enough.
So, as you two settle into your watch, I'll have perception rolls from each of you as well. That would be most appreciated. You awaken to a mistier, foggier setting than when you went to sleep. Yeah.
17 for Gears.
Okay.
Got a 15 for Calavera.
Yeah. It is surprisingly still. Again, it is the early hours now. You have the dawn shift, right? So before long, it'll be starting to the eastern horizon will be starting to brighten ever so slightly, but it is still, and it is really, really dewy. There are some trees around your hill, and it's so dewy that it's actually dripping from the trees. Everything that's able to absorb water has gotten really damp, and it's just wet, but it's quiet. I mean, it is still, and you're confident that if anything were to be approaching, if it were touching the ground anyway, not like a beholder, for instance, it would just be floating. But if anything were touching the ground or walking towards you, you're confident you would hear it because it is so still. You can hear the breathing of your four companions as they lay in well-deserved, well-earned slumber. And your watch passes very, very uneventfully. The sun starts to, you get this very faint gray in the eastern horizon. It's so misty, fairly dense fog, and cool for the 20th of Flame Rule, which is the 7th month of the calendar. A cool morning. Thanks in no small part probably to this heavy mist fog that has descended upon your campsite. But the sun is coming up, and it's it's going from really, really dark to kind of this depressing drab gray, but it is not raining, so that is an upgrade from yesterday.
Get up, make sure that Clover has some food, and I will. I'll probably.
So we've had a long rest, yeah?
Yeah. You guys got enough sleep and rest. That thing with the spiders didn't take, it's like less than 5 minutes. You all kind of came to, got bit and started stabbing and zapping things, and were able to kind of calm back down and get some rest. So yeah, you will all benefit from the effects of a long rest. So that's good news. I mean, not that you'll need it. I mean, I don't mean it in that regard. Good news, yeah.
Some of us needed it more than others.
Right, yeah. So refill your slots and your hit points and your whatever else you've got. And it is early, the 20th of Flame Rule. And you're all just, kind of waking up stiff, sleeping on the hard ground or whatever you use for bedroll. So it's morning.
I will, once I'm kind of up, I'm going to step away from camp a little ways, like not out of view, but just maybe 100 feet or so.
Okay.
And I will try to find a relatively dry area, maybe a rock or something that doesn't have dew on it.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm going to take off the cape that I have and kind of hold the brass fasteners in my hand and kind of sit on the rock, faced away from the group for a few minutes. And in my head, I'm just going to say, okay, look. I don't really know how this works, but I feel like, just watch over us. I would like to get back to Dagger Falls in one piece. I feel like you kind of owe me that much.
Virgilia's gonna look around and try to figure out who he's talking to.
I'm saying this is in my head.
Ah, okay.
Okay. Roll me a percentile.
27.
Okay. Thank you.
I'll just sit there for a minute and then I will head back to camp and I will pull out some cupcakes and hand them out to anyone who would like one for breakfast.
Nice. You noticed that when you did get out there 100 feet out, it was hard to make out much about. Like, you could tell there were shadows moving over where the camp is, but you couldn't tell which one was who unless it was Gears being the tallest by a long shot. But it is foggy and damp, and because of that, it feels like you're in a, like in a like a sound booth almost. It's so dead, sound wise.
And y'all might notice, Calavera and Ronvin might notice that I have more cupcakes now than I did at the end of when we had cupcakes. It would have been 2 days ago.
Al's definitely gonna take a cupcake.
Oh, Calavera takes a cupcake.
Yeah, Calavera, you're very familiar with these cupcakes.
They're very good.
You recognize these immediately as being from the Teshford Arms, the bakery, the Din's Dumplings, or Din's Desserts and Dumplings.
Yeah, she very eagerly tears into it. She took time during her shift to put herself back into place after everything that happened. So she's managed to brush her hair back back over the one eye like it usually sits, and she looks more composed than she did in the middle of the night, which is very nice.
These are a kind of like a vanilla, the cake this time. It's incredibly moist. It's light. So, because sometimes when you get a very moist cupcake, it's dense and heavy, and this isn't that at all. It's light and moist. And the frosting is it's almost like whipped. It's not like heavy cream cheese, and it's not like super sweet out of a can that's almost granular, like you can crunch the sugar, right? It's this really light whipped frosting that's, it's like, how does she do that? Kind of good, yeah.
Oh,
It's like
no,
minty citrus frosting. Yeah.
I forgot about your food descriptions. Oh no.
Yeah, you got to remember to eat before my games. Yeah.
I did.
Didn't matter, huh?
We'll wave one under Gears' chin. Would you like one?
You're-
You did again.
They're absolutely stock still, unmoving.
I'll take that as a no. For Julie?
Sure. I see Calavera over there just going crazy over this thing, so I may as well see what it's all about. Oh,
They are absolutely divine.
They are quite good. And like Al, for sure, you've never had a confection like this. It's just not a thing that you've experienced where you've come from, your region of the world. Nothing against your region of the world, but they don't have Din's delightful mint vanilla cupcakes.
Yeah, so I'm going to check Uncle over again, and then I'm going to reach into my pouch, and I'm going to pull out a rolled up piece of paper, and I'm going to go tack it up onto a tree with a couple of pittons. And I'm going to turn around and I'm going to start practicing throwing my daggers, just kind of loosening up. And I'll probably be singing a little ditty as I go, probably something about how Corlan and Loth used to be in love, and um, kind of talking about how Corlan just feels spited because Loth always outthinks him. Just totally making absolutely no sense. And when I'm done, I'll go grab the poster, I'll roll it back up really tight and stick it back in my bag.
Is there any imagery
And,
or text on this roll of paper for Chile?
Yeah, actually, it is the wanted poster of Spurnick.
Ah, okay, nice,
Perfect.
nice touch.
So I'm just practicing. I know who I'm going after. So I'm keeping my focus.
Nice, I like it. All right. Anybody else doing anything in particular as you're rising to greet the day?
I was just eating this cupcake and just kind of flipping through his spell book with a lot of pages in it, but only a few of them are actually filled out. So
right.
Anybody looking at it would have seen that a lot of the pages in it are blank.
Classic first level spell book, right? Yeah. Early in the career. Good deal. Calavera, anything that you're doing this morning besides nomming down cupcakes?
I mean, after she kind of takes a moment, goes through, like, make sure that all her stuff is sitting in her bag. She, like, takes each thing out to make sure that, nothing got damaged at all, like, during the fight or anything. And most of it's, just kind of normal adventuring stuff.
Yeah.
She's actually managed to have a single change of clothing in there, which, that's nice. She didn't have that before she got to Dagger Falls. She notices Algernon going through his spell book, and she kind of pauses and she'll kind of sits up a little taller, try to get a better look, and she goes, "Is it normal for that to have so many empty pages in it?"
At one time it was completely full. It is my father's spell book. When I left Cholt, as soon as I stepped off the boat, the pages they all went blank, except for these few. This is all I have left of my father, and all of the powers that I have. And he looks kind of sad and reminiscent of his father.
And Caliber just kind of there's the moment where it looks like she's gonna say something, then she kind of pauses to think about it, and then she just, is that something that normally happens with these sort of books? Are you going to gain more as you get more power, I suppose?
I find them. I'm constantly working, constantly learning. I learned them slowly. It would be easier having the guidance of everything my father had written throughout his life.
Well, it is I am sorry that this was something that has happened to you. Um, but and she takes a moment. You can see she's kind of weighing things in her head, as I myself am weighing things in my head to figure out how she's. Um, but
Al's in
isn't
no
it also?
Al's in no way offended. He's
Yeah.
feels your awkwardness as well.
It's, however, it is good to have known something while it was around, and you even have a record to keep with you.
I hope it all comes back one day.
It likely will.
That's his hope.
And she just kind of nods, hesitates again, then she just kind of shakes off whatever she was gonna say and goes back to her own bag and checking through all of her belongings.
Okay. Gears. Anything else? Or anything you're doing?
Yeah, so Gears is standing there, as stock still as a statue, apparently unmoving or unconsidering of anything. What they're thinking right now is that this is an unusual situation for them to be in. They're regarding everyone around them, and Ronvin in particular, and weighing what one does weigh as risk versus reward of companionship and being around others, which is and has been for a while deeply unusual for them. For the rest of the party, what you've probably noted is that Gears never laid down during rest. They only sat very still until action was called. As they're contemplating this, they roll their shoulder a bit, where the spider bit feels better now. Not too much damage. They look around, look at the others, one to one to one to one, in turn taking them in and regarding them, weighing their intentions, their situations,
Waves.
and not really coming fully to a decision of anything yet, but just taking it in and regarding them as something other than a misformed batch of strangers thrown together by delightful circumstance. And they continue the extended watch into the morning as everyone finishes their ablutions, morning rituals, eating, preparing, grooming, what have you. Satisfied that, for now at least, they're safe.
Excellent. Excellent. So, such time passes. I assume everybody does, as Gears said, goes through their rituals, their ablutions, and I assume that everyone kind of finds themselves at some point all ready to get back on the journey eastward toward the Dragon Spine Mountains. You've been on the road since yesterday afternoon. I think it was just after midday that you got on the road, so you've got a half day plus a sleep. And it's, I would say it's probably maybe 8 a.m. by the time you all get your bearing and your items together and so forth. You're just off, if you recall, you're just north of this this route that you're on, and it's not much more than a kind of a dual set of wagon ruts. It's not a trade road, which you would consider to be a main thoroughfare. It runs roughly along the northern side of the Tesh River as it ambles its way eastward. But it's fairly desolate out here. And you found yourself just, maybe 50, 60 yards off the track on this hill where you've camped. So you're able to, if you wish, able to get on the road and do your thing.
I mean, yeah, I can't think of why not. Is Clover ready for us to go traveling?
Stomp, stomp. Yep. She's been stamping a bit, maybe a little restless to get, moving again.
I mean, yeah. They say that we should probably start heading out before it starts. The more time that we aren't traveling, the further away people get, sort of feel.
Yep.
Yeah, hopefully the sun will burn off some of this fog so we can actually see more than 2 feet in front of us.
Okay, so you're able to make your way down to the road. Go ahead, Calavera. What were you going to say?
Oh, she was just gonna comment on the fog.
Yeah.
She said it is rather heavy. Is it normally like this around here?
I imagine we all kind of look at each other. I don't know.
Ooh.
Yeah, it's kind of like not from here, so
Yeah.
I'm gonna say no.
Ronman's probably the closest to being from around here of any of us.
But I guess we get going and hope that it becomes less.
Ronvin kind of chimes in that it does, this time of year, it can be a little bit foggy in the morning, but it'll probably be burned off in the next couple of hours, and it'll be a warm day if the clouds, roll out. It's, obviously being fog, it's like 100% humidity, so everything is just damp on you, a little clingy, a little heavier than normal. But yeah, you wouldn't have any trouble working your way back down the hill and onto the track and starting your journey eastward.
It feels very at home in heat and humidity. Kind of enjoys it.
Yeah, and it does
Julie
feel.
does not.
It does feel like it might be a little warmer already today than it was ever at its warmest point yesterday. And there is you know how when when it's sunny above the fog is just white. You can just tell it's going to be burning off. Yeah.
Yeah, Fragile keeps trying to blow her hair that keeps sticking to her forehead and to her cheek out, and it's not working. So she finally reaches into her pocket and pulls something out and ties it back behind her head so that it quits sticking to her face. Yeah. And she's murmuring in a very manly voice about what crappy weather it is outside right now.
It is. You can only see, and it's hard to tell, but you can start to mark as maybe a tree is off in the forward distance, maybe 150 yards at this point. But as you progress through the morning and move to the east, it does, as Ronvin promised, it does begin to burn off and lift. And by late morning, say 10:30, 11 a.m., you can feel the warmth of the sun as the fog starts to kind of dissipate, become patchy, become thinner. And you can feel everything is kind of almost absorbing. You can almost feel nature absorbing the warmth of the sun. It's been a couple of days since you've seen the sun, and it feels real good. If you like the sun.
As we're walking, I would like to fall in beside Calavera. So you're a healer, right?
Yes.
How does that work? How do you where do you get your healing abilities from?
Well, it's sort of it's a little. Well, when I first figured it out, what had ended up happening, and you can tell she's kind of like thinking this through a lot. I well, I had a book that I had been given, and some of it had some information in it about. Some of it I didn't quite understand, but some of it I looked through and I realized was about fixing people, like the actual medicine sort of thing about it and the physical stuff, and I realized that it made a lot of sense. And so sometimes I use that to fix people up when I use the bandages and everything, which is, I'm not sure if I would say that it is easier, but once I realized I could do that, then there would be times sometimes that I would find that someone was hurt in a way, and I would think, well, I'm not quite sure how to heal that with the bandages and everything. And well, there is. Okay, so you know how there is the place in town that is Lathander's temple, and how Lathander is a god.
Mm-hmm.
And she kind of like lowers her voice. I think I have something similar like that. That sometimes I ask for help or to do something and then it works. And not all of the time, but sometimes it does. And healing little things is something that can happen easily.
So are you praying when you do that?
Not like they do in the temple. I went there the one time to see if they could use my help some, and they didn't seem quite fond of it because I was not praying to this Lathander, and well, I'm not quite sure why that was very important, but I suppose it might be a prayer thing. I'm still trying to understand it. I'm not. It took a little bit to realize it wasn't something that a lot of other people could do, but I'm not sure. I could just sort of do it.
Well, that's amazing. That's quite the gift you have, without even, it sounds like, really worshiping any particular deity.
It is. It is. It does feel like it is one particular deity, as you said, but I don't know much about them, honestly. Which maybe I should, but it's hard to find information on someone when you don't quite know who they are. It is something that I am trying to figure out.
Do you ever try to pray to them or something when you're not trying to heal someone?
A little bit, but I don't always get anything definitive back. Not always, but sometimes I get a lot of feelings. It's a lot of feelings in here about something going right or something feeling right or wrong. It is a lot of playing hot and cold. But it is not. I think it is okay for me to not quite understand yet. There's a lot of things that I don't really understand. She just kind of laughs at this, like it's an inside joke sort of deal.
I don't understand half of the things. He just kind of gestures broadly at the group that half of y'all can do. I'm a pretty simple guy when it comes down to it.
Well, I don't know if that's a bad thing.
It's gotten me through life so far.
I mean, even the simple things are beautiful if you take the time to look at them.
I imagine that's true.
And she just kind of smiles and nods. Maybe I, I should try asking more, but I don't know. I think it's okay knowing things as it comes and learning as it happens. And maybe the more that I understand, the more I will be able to do. I'm not quite sure.
You do you. I was just curious. Just making conversation.
Well, I am on the side. I'm walking with Clover, and so I'll be on her right side as we walk down the road. Um, and so I'll be paying attention to the right side mostly. I probably won't even pay attention at all to what's going on to the left.
Gears will be up front. I was going to say is up front watching what's coming, so they're at the lead, as perceptive as they can be, however much that is.
All right, so based on my perception roll, Fragile is apparently singing to herself again, and she is randomly picking up pebbles, and whenever Gear's not looking, she's going to be like tossing pebbles at the back of Gear's head, just trying to distract him, and then trying to look innocent as she does, because she rolled a 3 on her perception check, so she's clearly a little bit distracted right now.
So Gears in the meantime, because this is actually a good thing, because Gears is obviously distracted and trying very hard not to be distracted, but is actually getting distracted, if you know how that works. Because I rolled a 4 with my +3 is 7, so not really noticing much except these damn pebbles hitting the back of my cloak.
Everything is so different from what Al's used to, like climate wise and geography wise, that he's just kind of like constantly head around looking at like everything that is just so different from where he comes from. Yeah, Al's just mesmerized by anything that's not like the jungle or just regular trees, just anything that's not like a dense jungle kind of tropical thing. Al's completely mesmerized. Every little bird, every little whatever, just catches his attention.
No giant lizards jumping out trying to eat you.
Yeah. Dinosaurs, no
Yeah.
sprites that throw things at you. Yeah, none of that.
So I would have Al give me a perception, since you're studying things and noticing stuff, and really tuned into the various different types of trees. A lot of deciduous trees, green leaf trees and full leaf. A lot of evergreens. All that stuff. Just very nice, pretty country.
I got an 8, so I'm basically daydreaming, I guess.
Yeah. Or maybe you're so intent on some of the detail that you're just not, aware of what's going on. Okay, good. I mean, not that there's anything going on, totally not.
Yeah, that was worse than my 12.
We're noticing nothing.
Yeah,
Group of bandits comes up, takes everything we own, and walks off. And we haven't
yeah.
even
You
noticed.
didn't even notice, yeah. TPK, yeah. Didn't even realize. These really sharp blades didn't feel a thing. Yeah. No, so you're fine. You're ambling along. It's all good. A couple hours pass by. It's gotten 3-4 o'clock into the heat of the day. Some of you who are maybe not used to this, who are maybe from the further north, might be a little. It's upper 80s, pretty toasty, and this whole air mass that you had has moved off and it's dry now. I mean, it is just hot summer day, not real humid. I don't know when your evening meal time is, but it's probably about 4 in the afternoon. So
How much daylight's left?
well, we're approaching midsummer, so probably 6 hours.
So you could push on for a couple more hours at least. 4.
Fair amount of.
I'll be sure to look for a place to water clover if I can along the way,
Okay.
and I'll make my best attempt to either be partially in her shadow or in Gear's shadow, so I can keep the sun off me.
Okay. Yeah, Gears. So you get
Throws a pretty big shadow.
you get the distinct impression that's almost like somebody's stalking you, and if you ever turn around, you just notice Fragile is just trying to stay in the shadow that you cast. So she's not actually stalking you, but it does feel kind of weird. You're like, what the heck is she doing?
With my personal umbrella.
Yeah, Fragile, there's a couple of places where you pass a small little waterway that's winding its way down to the river. So watering the mule, filling water skins would not be difficult at all. Yeah.
As the sun is kind of coming out more and burning off the fog and stuff, occasionally Rue just kind of glances up at it, and eventually he takes off his cloak and just put his cape and puts it away.
Yeah.
Yeah, but he definitely seems like he's enjoying the sun.
Yeah, if you're a fan of sunny and warm weather, this is a day for you. Yeah. So, Gears, why don't you make another perception roll for me?
Well, that's just terrible. 6 total.
Nice. Good. Yep, nothing to see here.
I feel pretty safe.
Nothing going on. You feel incredibly safe. It's just a quiet, uneventful afternoon.
Yeah, probably as it starts, once it does start, winding down stuff, Calavera's gonna have an eye out for like any place that, would be safe enough for us to stop and eat or stop for the night or anything. Like, see if anything catches her eye.
Okay. Yeah, so we'll say it's been another couple of hours. You're probably 6:30. The sun is past its peak in the sky, but it's still pretty darn daylight out because, again, summertime, it's not going to get dark until 10 or later. But go ahead and make a perception roll, Calavera.
Okay. No.
Oh,
That's a nat one.
oh no. Oh no.
I thought I got rid of all my bad rolls.
Nice.
You see a forest fire and decide this would be a good place to stay.
Yeah.
Hey, I love that. That's great.
Yeah. Yeah, you would.
Are
You
you
would.
saying that none of you can sit in a fire?
Nice. Anybody else care to take a
As a matter
swing
of
at
fact-
perception? Go ahead.
As a matter of a question there, Scott, did you notice any way stops along the way, like commonly used points that travelers might take to rest at?
Well, it's funny you should mention that. I keep asking for perception rolls, so in the interest of interesting narrative, I will say that you on the north side of the road, you notice that it kind of widens, and it's really you come upon this area that's trampled down and pressed down, and it looks like it's been trodden upon. And there's actually a couple of boulders that outline or mark what appears to be a path. And if you glance up that direction, sure enough, you notice there are some fairly large stones that you can see kind of standing up on the horizon up this trail. Weird that you asked me about that.
Wiley, I also rolled perception, and I got a natural one as well. However, I'm going to use Hawkeye's reroll
Okay.
to try to actually see something.
Okay.
Well, I do not see anything.
And that is a natural 20.
Okay.
Awesome.
Nice.
Ooh.
Thank you, KY Hawkeye, man.
For
You
20,
Yeah, seriously.
for 25 total.
you got us on the board for noticing something. Yeah, so what you see, the rest of the party must just be kind of absorbed in thought, enjoying a beautiful day, a nice walk as you briskly move along. But Rue, you notice this trampled down area, like maybe there's been people stopped here, a lot of people, it looks like a well-trodden trail, and it's probably 3 could walk abreast. And this trail goes up into, up the base of this hill and up, and just maybe 100 yards up, you notice what looks to be an arrangement of stones. And I say arrangement because it doesn't look just like random rocks. It looks like stones have been placed. And by stones, you would guess from where you stand, they got to be all of maybe 8-9 feet tall. You can see maybe, 4 or 5 of them.
They look like they were placed there. They don't.
Yeah, they don't look like just random kind of rocks laying around. I mean, they look like they're in some kind of arrangement. Just doesn't look like nature to you.
Al's gonna kind of run up ahead. This kind of thing seems like something that'd be intriguing, and if it's obvious that they were placed here, then the reason why is going to be intriguing to me. And just kind of look up at it and see if this kind of ticks any bells, like a religious order or maybe just something that people would know about.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, if you want to roll a religion, Al, that'd be fine. Maybe you kind of see Rue looking and the group kind of stops. Oh, yeah, what are you looking at?
Yeah,
21
definitely
for
figure it
religion.
out.
21 for religion. Yeah, so Al kind of walks up beside you, Rue, and you look up there and you see the path. And in fact, both of you can see that there have been booted feet. You see horse tracks. So you can tell that this has, been trodden even since the rain. But it looks to you, Al, from where you are, like nothing more than some, unnatural arrangement, like a rock formation, or that the stones have been arranged in some way. But from where you are, almost 100 yards out, it's hard to make anything, make sense.
I want to. I'm wondering, if any of this stands out? Didn't we read? Didn't they tell us that one of the books was about a circle of standing stones?
Mm-hmm.
Could this be that circle of standing stones? And if so, what is it? I don't know if it means anything. It feels kind of weird that we we're told about a book that had stones in it, and then we run into stones. So, you
Al,
guys remember anything?
does this look similar to what you read about in that book?
I don't know. I don't know if I actually looked at it.
Sorry, that was directed at Al.
Yeah.
Uh, it all it says was circle of stones in this general area, so maybe the description about it wasn't too in depth in the books, right?
Not incredibly, no. It was more like a very just a brief entry about this strange sect of druids that, the Circle of the Scale, I believe they called it.
Maybe if we get closer, we can have a better look. Inscriptions, anything on these stones. And so Al's not going to run off because he's a squishy wizard. But if anyone wants to go up and get closer, they'll go with you.
I will go along with Al. I am curious about these stones.
I am too. I'll even hold Al's hand to make him feel better.
Nice. That's
Ah,
comforting.
very nice.
Yeah.
Can you sing to me?
Oh, what would you like to hear?
Whatever your special
Good.
friend tells you to sing.
So as they move forward to investigate, I'd like to kind of take Overwatch. So find some spot where I can have a good view of the circle and
Okay.
like the surrounding area.
Okay. The circle is in, not unlike your encampment on the evening before. The circle is in a kind of a high point. It's not the crown of a hill, like Weathertop in the Lord of the Rings movies, but it's on a higher flat. So the circle itself is really an excellent vantage point. Everything else is kind of looking up at it, if that makes sense. A little bit of a kind of plateau, high point.
Are there any like benches or anything around the circle, around the stones?
Not that you can see from the road where you are. Again, about 100 or so yards away.
Okay. Then I'll just trail behind them 30 feet or so, and I'll have my bow out and just keeping an eye open.
Okay, yeah. And I'm going to let you just ride that 25 perception, just because you kind of picked up on everything and you've been looking and you're just kind of dialed in visually with what's going on. Yeah. There's a few trees here and there, but nothing, there's not a lot of cover beside where the stones are. So you all are going to make your way up to the arrangement of stones. Is that what I'm hearing?
Yeah.
Okay.
I would like to see them.
Yeah. So you can even lead Clover up there. It's like I said, 3 people could walk shoulder to shoulder up this kind of trail. It's more like trodden grass, and some bare spots. But yeah, you make your way up there, and as you get closer, you're able to see, and you come up in elevation. You're able to see. It's sort of an arrangement of 4. I guess you'd call them pods of these stones, and the stones are actually closer to 12 feet tall once you get up there, and they're kind of this gray, very weathered material. They look like they've been there, since the dawning of time. And they look to be fairly thick, like the closest first pod there. They're probably 18 inches thick and maybe 3.5 feet wide. They're huge. And they're in kind of these 4 pods, and each pod would be kind of a semi-arc with the 3 stones standing side to side with a little, maybe a couple 2-3 feet between them, arranged in a little bit of an arc. And as you get up there, you notice there are several campfire sites. You can see where people have camped or had fires. Nothing's burning, nothing's smoking. And you can see plenty of footprints, both horse and mule and humanoid, small to medium. Yeah. And you can see down, if you turn around, you can see down the entire approach up this kind of this track that comes up here. You can see the river, just a beautiful blue ribbon kind of winding, clear day. You can see the mountains just a little bit better. Yeah.
Virgili will tie off Clover.
Okay.
and she is going to her mood's going to change a little bit, and she's going to go up to the stones, and she's going to be running her hands over the stones, feeling for etchings, just
Yeah.
almost looking like she's looking for something in particular, but she's really just getting a feel and a vibe for what these are because they look old, and she feels like they must have a really good story behind them.
Yeah, yeah.
And so she's trying to see if she can feel any kind of a story or perceive anything about them as she goes.
Yeah, so this closest pod, if you will, actually has a couple of rocks inside the arc, almost as if you could sit and face the pod or sit and face out. But you have no trouble on the center stone seeing an etching, a carving in the stone that looks like a kind of a moon, and it's going to appear on stream here shortly. I just kind of revealed it, but it looks like a moon with a kind of a half circle beam around it, some sort of a symbol, and it's etched, like carved, tink 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 tink, chiseled into the stone, and it's weathered like it's been there a long, long time. And again, there's a couple of sites where there might have been some fire made at one point, and it's all very trodden and trampled up here.
I'm going to ask Calavera to come over and take a look at it.
She comes over. She had stopped to just look at the gorgeous view from up here. Is there something here?
I don't know. There's some symbol up here, and it feels more divine-ish or I don't know, worshipped oriented than it does arcane for some reason to me. It looks like the moon, and I don't know. I thought maybe you might have some insight into what it is.
Oh, I don't believe I do. No.
No religious symbols look like that?
Well, she kind of takes a moment to think, and I would not really. And yeah, I'm gonna think I can try rolling religion to see if she recognizes it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think you have a message as well.
Yeah. And that is going to be a 16.
Okay. It seems like, you search your memories, dark corners, recesses, and you watch as she really kind of closes her eyes and focuses, and she kind of goes away mentally for a few seconds as she goes deep inside, and it feels to you like maybe you've seen this, and it's maybe elvish. It's a symbol that might be important to elves, but you're not entirely sure. You're gonna guess that it's some kind of holy symbol or meaningful symbol, to elves.
Okay, and then like after the moment passes, like her eye opens and she blinks a couple times to get back in focus. She goes, I think it is elvish. I think. I'm not.
Moon?
Well, the moon is not for just the elves, but that is all that I can. And she just kind of shrugs. Looks a little confused with herself.
There's no coloring or anything. It's just all carved into the stone.
Mm-hmm.
I want to know if maybe I can boost her score, maybe aid her a little bit, and I don't know how that would work. How aiding is it? Adding a die 4 if you're helping somebody?
Normally it grants advantage on most skill checks. Why don't you role play that for me, for Geely? Like, hey, talk her through it a little bit.
I feel like Elvic, and I don't know. The moon, elves, Corlon had something to do with the moon.
Like
I thought Sahai,
Corlin?
Sahai, so the saloon. I don't know all their names, but I know that there's a link to one of their deities. Are any of our no? We don't have any elven friends, do we? I yeah, I really feel like this is designed for one of their main gods, and so I don't know if that helps her any or not, but
Um, yeah, you feel like you're close. You're like, ooh, man, I know this. You might even consult with your Zoom chat messages, um, but you really do feel like you're pretty close here.
I'm really not certain. I don't know.
okay. So I think that it is Sahai. How do we say her name?
Sehanine,
Sahanine
Sehanine, maybe.
Moonbow. I think that's her symbol.
You would probably know better than I would.
Yeah, but now I don't know what it means. I'm gonna go check out some of these other rocks and see if maybe there's some more clues.
Okay. So if you go to the next closest, go ahead, Al. What?
Just now that we're up close, he's going to basically try to study everything about these, like how they're placed, the way they're facing east west, that kind of thing, and see if he can deduce anything about their purpose, or if they are reminiscent of like any kind of group that does this like on the regular.
Yeah. Al, give me a little insight into your background as far as the things you've studied in your wizardry divination studies. What kind of things would you know when it comes, related to this?
Anything, uh, basically anything to do with dragons, mind flayers, um, and then just kind of divination, magic in general are going to be his main focuses.
Okay. When Fragile, when she mentions Moonbow, the elven, you click, that's an elven deity. Sihanin Moonbow. And that deity, one of her domains, if you will, is of divination. And also travel and dreams. So again, it looks like a little homage, a little, site where people who might call upon her or be comforted by her might, again, it looks like there's been a couple of campfires there, little rock, stone fire rings, that sort of thing with burned remnants. And in fact, those campfire remnants are all over up here as far as that goes. This one happens to be facing the road. It's the first pod you come to. Fragile, you were going to go to the next one. You've basically got them. There's four of them up there, and they're kind of I guess they're kind of in the cardinal directions, north, south, east, and west, as far as how they're facing. Generally speaking, if you're going to go and inspect and look at degrees of alignment and so forth, you're going to find that it's not perfect. If you go to that point. But generally speaking, there's the first one you come to, and then there's one to the right facing kind of to the right, one to the left facing kind of the left, and then you see the back of a pod kind of facing the north. Which one would you like to go to, for Julie?
North.
Okay.
Which one was I at? South, north, south, east, or west?
You were at the one facing the road, which would be south of your position.
Then I'll go to the west.
Okay. So you go to the west. And upon that, you see again a similar arrangement, sort of the semicircle arc. And upon that, you see carved into the stone another symbol of sorts. Where am I at here? And it looks like it's a coin that's been carved into the stone, and it's a coin that appears to be kind of face up, like the head's side of a coin. There's an image of a humanoid face on the coin. And if you look around again, there are the little fire rings and things. And on some of the rocks and stones, there are some items, items of chance, like dice, sticks of various length. Little items that you would associate with gambling.
Oh. Fragile will like probably touch every one of them, but not move them at all
Okay.
because somebody left it there for a reason. So it would just be like kind of more of a respect thing versus a trying to take it. I'm not
Right.
trying to take anything. I'm just trying to like
Roll
whatever that was put there for.
roll investigation, if you would please.
Oh, it's a 16 on the die. Oh, +4, that's a 20.
Okay, so as you start to look at this, again, it looks like dice and little bones and things. You've been around enough to know what simple gambling type things. Maybe some pieces of cards that have kind of been rained on and curled up, and things like that. But they're a lot of them happen to be arranged on kind of this very flat stone that's close to the ground, and you can see where the ground is really worn around it. It almost looks like a little gaming table has been, it's been used by people to play games of chance. That's what you kind of make out of that.
So we got dreams, we got chance. What are the chances? I want to make a religion check, see if this coin symbol means anything.
Yeah, go ahead.
I got a +4. That is a 13.
Okay. You're aware of a couple of holy symbols that are represented by a coin. This one, when you think of coin, you think of gambling and such. Tamora comes to mind, the goddess of good fortune. Many people who rely on good fortune, rely on chance, rely on those kind of skills. Gamblers, sometimes even merchants, probably worship this deity.
I'm also going to assume that my compadres have seen that I'm investigating the stones, and I don't know if any of them want to check out the other stones while I'm doing this.
I'm gonna go check out the North Stone.
Okay. Yes, by all means, please, all of you, feel free to dig in and RP to your heart's content with this. Yeah.
I mean, Gallivant will try the. Which one's the one that hasn't been looked at yet?
The east.
Al's going to look at north. East also has not been explored yet.
She'll head over to the east one.
Okay. I'm going to go with Al first, if that's okay, since he spoke up. And who else was saying something? Sorry.
Oh, I was just gonna ask, what is Gears doing while they're doing all this? Because Rue is just watching all of you. He's watching around, but also watching the
Right.
5 of you.
Gears is pacing nervously in the middle. Maybe not showing much in the way of nerves, but just pacing, following each member as they go, watching to see if something untoward transpires. They are not intellectuals, they're not interested or evidently interested, just keeping
I think-
watch as well.
Are
Okay.
they watching the other 4 or like around?
No, the people of the party.
Okay.
They're watching the people of the party. They're very within the circle focused.
Okay. Very good. Rue, anything else there? Satisfied with that?
That's good.
Okay. Al, so you're going to go to the North Stone, you said? The North Pod, I guess?
Yes.
Okay, very good. So you come around, and as you approach it, it's facing north, so you have to kind of walk around it, easily enough accomplished. In the center, between all of the pods, these pods are no closer than probably 40 feet from one another. There's a big, they almost create this kind of courtyard-ish kind of thing. Again, fire rings, footprints, bones, signs of maybe meals, camp, that sort of thing. Are here and there. It's mostly picked up and sort of groomed-ish. But yeah, you go around to the north face of the pod, and you see again the 3 big stones there in kind of a half arc, and there is a kind of a, I guess you'd think of it as a large bowl, a stone bowl that's fairly deep, probably more than a foot deep, and probably 3 feet across, sitting on a kind of a block of stone that looks like it's been cut. And in the bottom of that bowl, there's liquid. Looks like a bowl of water. If you want to roll investigation, there is also an etching on the stone. In the center, the largest rock. And again, these etchings are large. They're bigger than your head. I mean, they're meant to be seen. Go ahead and roll me a investigation, Al.
That's a nat 20.
Okay. So you've got this carved bowl. It's nice. It's not ornate or fancy. It's just a nice, simple carved bowl. There's water in it. And you can see various spots where the water has been higher and it's kind of evaporated. And down in the water, there are a number of what look to be copper pieces, copper coins, laying in the pool of water. Etched upon the stone facing north is another coin. But this coin is more, it's an upright, like it's standing on its end, like it's got that 3-dimension kind of etching. And these etchings, by the way, are all very nice, well done. They're very clear what you're intended to see. And then this etching, you notice the visage is a side view, a profile view of a woman with flowing hair, and she's facing, her profile's facing to the left. And you see...
Do I?
Go ahead.
God. So there are like coins in this bowl, and I'm sure that it's water. It's not just that it appears.
Well, it sure looks like water. You haven't done anything to determine exactly what it is, but it does.
Got it.
It's relatively clear. It looks like it's been out in the water.
Are all of the coins in the bowl identical to each other? Are they local currency?
It's hard telling, honestly.
Or are they kind of special one-off coins?
It's hard telling without
Oh, Jesus.
getting a closer look. That's it. Go closer.
All right. Yeah.
Yes.
All right.
Yes.
All right. I'm gonna bite. All right. I'm gonna go ahead and reach into the water.
Yeah.
And pull out the coins to see if just to see what's up with the coins.
Yeah. Okay. So you grab and you see, and I don't recall the names of all of these coins, but you've seen some of this coin in Neverwinter and Waterdeep, and I believe those are nibs, copper coins from those communities. You see unfamiliar copper pieces. They all look to be like minted coin currency. None of them bear any resemblance to what's been etched in either of the coin stone faces. They look like money. Various sizes. I want to say maybe the Waterdavian nibs are triangular, if memory serves. Maybe a hole through the center. Something like that.
All right. Well, after he discerns that they're actual currency, he's gonna put them back in the water, but not like actually put his hand in the water and drop them in as gently as he can without touching the water again, just in case.
Yep. Yeah, and you don't get any. I mean, your hand gets wet like it would if it were water. You don't get a acid burn. Nothing grabs you and pulls you into the bowl, and nothing cool like that. I'm just not that fun of a dungeon master, I guess. It appears to be a bowl of water with copper coins in it.
I'm going to cast Prestidigitation to create a coin, just like one that I saw out of, I guess I'll take the Baldur's Gate coin.
Okay.
It'd be one that I recognized.
Yep.
And
there was probably a couple of those in there. Yeah.
Take like a step back and drop it into the water.
Okay.
Just to see what would happen.
Yeah. Yeah. So you do that, and it plinks in the water like you would expect, a little splash, and falls to the bottom.
All right. Well, nothing bad happened to me. All right. So yeah, he's just gonna kind of keep looking and keep an eye on everybody else who's investigating stones to see if any of them trigger anything that he knows through studies or symbology, I guess.
You could make a religion check on this. You've already nailed investigation, so you've gleaned everything there is to be found there, at least to the best of your
That's a 5.
satisfaction. I mean, if you had to guess, this is probably another holy symbol to a deity, something to do maybe with money, but you're not sure. Nothing, specific comes to mind. You're not even sure you've seen it before. Maybe you're a little confused because there was that other coin etching in the other stone that Fragile was looking at. Okay, let's go to Calavera. You're in the pod with the stones facing the east. So you go over there and you look, and again, little remnants of fire and camping and so forth there. And you look, and sure enough, there is a symbol etched in the face of the center stone. I'm going to drop it in the into the center box there, so in just a moment it'll appear on stream and you can see it. But it's that symbol carved into the face of the stone. Can you see that on the stream yet?
Ooh.
Yeah.
I can't.
It looks like a serpent or something with dragon's wings. And it's pointing downward toward a disc.
Is there anything else around this area?
There are some rocks, presumably for sitting. They're large enough to be sat upon. You want to roll investigation?
I would. That is an 11.
Okay. Yeah. You also notice on the stone face of the rock, you let me hide that and show you what you see scratched upon the stone face. And now that will appear on stream momentarily. It looks like and this, the art you're viewing is very nice looking. This has been scratched onto the stone. So it's a rough scratching of a skull without its bottom jaw. And then from it is like this starburst design.
I think what Calavera is gonna do, she's gonna take a moment, like taking a breath, and she's gonna try to reach back into like whatever like she was able to like remember stuff from. She's gonna try to see if she knows what either of these are.
Okay.
Would that be a religion check? Or something else?
Yeah, religion should be fine.
Okay. I'm going to use, I believe that I have an inspiration that I can use for a reroll.
You do.
I want to re-roll that because that wasn't very good.
Good. Yeah, and keep track of your inspiration, what you have, and so forth.
I rolled the same exact thing, so that is going to be a total of a 6.
Okay. Yep. This scratching seems weird to you. The other thing, you just don't have any idea what that is. Just no clue. But the scratching
Yeah.
symbol, the one that's, and again, it is not etched, it is not cut in the stone, it's been scratched by somebody. It doesn't give you a really positive feeling, but you're not really sure why or what it is.
Yeah, like she's just trying so hard to try to know what this is, and it's just not happening. And she just like eventually just huffs out this really frustrated breath and goes like practically storms off to go like stare at the view again because it's just not happening.
Okay.
And she's just
Yeah.
she looks really frustrated about this.
Yep. Okay. What are the rest of you? So you saw Algernon go behind the north-facing pod, if you will. You saw Fragile get very involved in the, I guess it was the west-facing. Is that right, Fragile? And then you saw Calavera go to the east side and then kind of, with a frustrated look, kind of almost stomp off, like rolling her eyes, like, jeez. And she goes back to just kind of taking in the view. What would the rest of you like to do that haven't done stuff, or do new things beyond what you've already done?
Well, what's the symbol in the middle of our screen right now?
That's what was scratched on the face of the center stone that faces east. Let me show you the one that was cut into that stone.
I got that one.
Okay, that would be this one.
Yeah.
So, seeing that nothing seems to be lurking around, waiting to jump out at us or anything.
Yep.
I think we will.
With your 25, that's safe, Rue. Yeah, it's called clear. Yep.
Yeah, nothing seems to be happening. I'll just kind of come into the circle. Well, what do we have here?
Al explains to him, Rue's always been cool to him this whole time since they've known each other. And Al explains everything that he just kind of discerned, even as far as like the coin thing not turning out. And just, it appears to be stones that we just do not understand.
No one went to the North Stone yet? Is that right, Wiley?
Al was looking at the North Stone. That's where he found the censer, the bowl full of coins in the water.
Okay, so all the stones have been looked at.
Yeah.
Okay.
Have you looked at any of them? Or are you just kind of standing there talking with them?
At the moment, I'm just kind of trying to get everyone to pool their knowledge. So the north one has the coins.
There's and the symbol is a coin with a female facing to the left. The east one had that. Are you going around looking at them, or?
I'm trying to get the group to kind of come together and compare notes and brainstorm together what it might be.
I will share everything I knew. Which is not a whole lot so far.
Yeah.
Just so we have.
Yeah, for Geely, you kind of deduced that was probably Timora, the holy symbol of Timora. Rue, you've heard of Timora.
Moon goddess.
And then the moon.
Yeah.
Moonbeam of the elves is on the south facing. The north, Algernon wasn't really sure what it is, right? It's another coin.
Would Ronvin be able to recognize any of these?
Good question. Yeah, let me pull up her
She's a,
sheet of characterness
she's
here
a
real
little
quick.
more local than some of us.
Yeah. Let me do some things here.
I guess if nothing's really coming to mind, then I will take a trip, just walking around the whole thing and looking at each picture,
Okay. Yeah. Like,
each stone.
I almost
each
envision
sphere,
maybe
or
Fragile
everything's
pointing out
useful.
what she's learned about the south facing and the west facing. And then I almost picture maybe Al taking you back there and showing you the north facing. Ronvin's back there. And she smiles when you get back there and she's like, oh, okay, I've seen this before. Merchants coming through Mistledale. This is the goddess Joaquin, goddess of trade. That's what this is. A lot of her worshippers will throw a coin into a pool or barrel or bucket of water, body of water, at sunset to pay homage. She blesses trade and knowledge. That's what I think. And then Rue, as you look at the eastern facing one where Calavera was, you see what I have showing on the stream right now. And then you see, I'll show you that other one here real quick. Let me get that one up for you here, bud. That'll take just a second before it appears.
The skull one with the starburst.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then the one before, you saw the one before that, right, with the snake?
Yeah.
Did you get my message?
Oh. No, I did not. Okay.
As Gears is looking around, do they recognize particularly that scratched symbol at all, given on where they've been recently?
Roll me a straight intelligence roll, Gears, to see what you can recognize on the east-facing rock.
11.
11. Okay, I'm going to type in Zoom. Anything at all there, Rue?
I think he just kind of stops and stares at the east-facing stone for a minute. How widely known is that? Like, if would I expect them to know what that group is?
You know that the snake symbol is very well known in this region, this greater region, and I'm talking like Sword Coast East. That's a pretty common.
So yeah, I'll come back and it looks like that snake symbol. Pretty sure that's a symbol of the Zentarum, the Black Network. They're sometimes called. Not good people. I wouldn't have expected them to be associated with something way out here in the middle of nowhere.
Are they criminals? Could the people that we're chasing be working for them?
It's possible. And I think this skull thing is also associated with the Centauran too. Like their deity or something. So we have the god of snakes and jerks, and then we have what? The god of merchants and fortune. What others?
Roll me intelligence, Rue.
I'm gonna use my DM inspiration on that nat one.
Nice. Like to see people burning inspiration.
That's a little better. That is straight intelligence 15. It almost seems like this is where people would stop if they were heading along the road and needed to rest and take a break for a while, get off their feet.
That would explain all the different campfires and stuff.
And I guess the symbols of deities are just to make people feel welcome no matter where they're coming from, maybe.
Calavera's still kind of. She's not pouting, but she's pouting off to the side.
How much daylight's left?
Yeah, so I would presume you've probably spent a good, 90 minutes. So it's it's like 7:30, 8 o'clock. Your stomachs are all growling, but you've been so focused on what the heck is all this and what does it mean and does it matter that time went by fairly quickly. And so 7:30, 8 o'clock. The sun is definitely starting to sink in the west. The stones are casting quite long shadows. All is quiet. Rue has been very vigilant about watching out while you all were doing your thing, and then kind of brought his focus to the group. But oddly enough, it's been very quiet. So birds might land on a stone, that sort of thing. But it's it's just been very quiet.
I'm gonna start looking around in the area to see if I can find any signs of game that we could make dinner out of.
Okay. Roll a survival. Describe for me exactly what you're doing.
Well, I am creeping through the woods as quiet as I can, looking for signs of small game, rabbits, something like that. I mean, if I found a deer, that'd be fabulous. And being who I am, I'll probably Eldritch Blast it because I'm hungry.
Okay. You're in hilly-ish, grassy country. There's not a woods per se or trees. Go ahead and roll me survival.
That's +0. It's 12.
Okay. Your sense is that you might do better going back down across the road and over toward the river. The road is probably 300-400 yards away from the edge of the river. A lot of grass down there, a few trees. You might do a little bit better down there just because it's closer to water.
Okay. I'm gonna look at Rue and say, hey, take good care of Cloverwill. I'll be right back. I'm gonna go see if I can find us some food for tonight.
All right,
And I'm
I can
gonna
do
kind of
that.
skip off to the south towards the river.
Great. I think what we'll do
I
is.
will.
Oh, go ahead.
I
Go ahead.
will.
Go ahead.
Actually, never mind. I'm not going to do that. Nope.
All right. So what I want to do then is take 5. Let's grab a quick break. And when we come back, chatters, don't go away. Viewers, we're going to open up that giveaway. And that giveaway will run all the way to the end of the stream. And we'll draw right at the end. And as long as you're here, whoever the winner is, just let us know you're still here. And you'll get a $25 gift certificate to Tabletop Loot. So we'll be back very, very shortly. We're going to just take 5. that I start this giveaway and it works. And we'll do the drawing at the end of the stream. So good luck. This is for followers and for subs, and the stream looks like it just went down like it always does every week. I don't know why it does this, but it's reconnecting. So once that occurs,
Hey, this is a good time for it.
once that reconnection occurs, I'll throw the giveaway live. And again, if you're a follower or a sub, thank you. I guess I might as well wait to say that till the stream comes back up. That's annoying. I don't know why it does this, but it does it every time I stream.
I like seeing some of the speculation as to what Gears is about. So far, it's been 3 kobolds in a trench coat and a blender.
Yeah, Chris is funny that way.
There was a thing on Twitter about 3 kobolds in a trench coat about a week ago that I could not get enough of.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, looks like we're back
Just takes
connected.
off the cloak. There's another cloak.
You never know.
Smaller one.
Right. It's like those Russian Fabergé eggs. Yeah.
Going down.
Yeah.
Okay.
Gears all the way down.
I'm really just a gnome.
So the giveaway is open.
Okay.
You just need to type !dice to enter. And the winner will be drawn at the end of the stream. Just need to be on stream and say, hey, I won, in order to get your prize. And I will purchase and send you a $25 gift certificate to Tabletop Loot, just as a thank you to our followers and subs for being here for us and hanging out and being followers and subs. So by all means, enter, and we'll draw this thing at the end. And players are eligible as the fact that they're all followers and or subs. So thank you all very much for that. Let's get back into our game. So the party is standing up there. The evening is wearing on. It's about 8 p.m. Long day on the road. They seem to have found a like a rest area almost for this day and age, or this setting, if you will. 4 different sort of little pods of these standing stones, each dedicated to a different deity. What would you like to do?
Julie's off like hunting, isn't she?
Yeah. You guys could set up camp. It wouldn't break your heart.
Yeah, I guess it's getting dark. It looks like this is a place where other people have kind of set up before. So Al's going to go ahead and use prestidigitation to kind of start a fire in, I guess, the most defensible, or the circle of stones with the best view, so we don't have a similar situation like last night.
That would be great.
Yeah, sorry.
No, it's fine. I don't blame you. I blame the spiders. They're too sneaky. Yeah, I guess just kind of setting up camp.
Yeah, Fragile will return about 40 minutes later with several rabbits that have been cleaned. And she'll drop them by the fire, kind of looking around like, all right, I caught them. Who's cooking them? Nobody?
I
It's a good
don't
thing.
know how to.
Oh, man. I'm going to have to cook these two, aren't I? All right.
No, I believe I can help. So Al's gonna pick them up, I guess, one at a time.
Okay.
Once again, cast prestidigitation on them, to which you can warm, chill, or flavor of non-living material, which it isn't any longer.
Okay.
Almost.
I'm
That
gonna
doesn't.
warm them. I'm gonna warm it up, and then I can also season it as well. So I'm just gonna kind of hold it like a little robed microwave, heat them up, and just kind of hand them out to everybody.
I do not think that is cooking it. They are wrong. I don't think.
You can eat rabbit at 135. I'm just saying.
Wait, so how?
That's awesome.
That might be a little metagaming, but you can eat rabbit at 135 degrees.
Hand prestidigitation do that?
I mean, depends on what qualifies as warm.
Hey, TM, can we get a ruling here?
Yeah, and you will notice too that there is a chunk missing out of every rabbit where Eldritch Blast hit it.
Nice.
I thought you were going to
Nice.
say you took bites out of them.
Right? Yeah.
That might already be partially cooked as it is.
That's awesome.
I think warm counts as it's if it had been previously cooked, it's now okay.
Warmed up. I don't know if that's cooking it though.
I will say, as I eat my trail mix, sorry, for the purposes of narrative, that you can tell that the meat is cooked through.
Okay.
Yeah, you can even smell it as the magic is affecting it. You can it sizzles and it heats up, and it smells pretty good.
I'm gonna hang it off.
Nice.
Prestidigitate a little ding going off.
Yeah. Hold on. We can make a sound. Shower of sparks puff a wind, faint musical notes. My microwave is melodic.
Nice.
Ooh.
You guys deserve better than just that annoying beat. I'm really trying to impress you.
I like
Nice.
this guy.
We're gonna
Can you sing while you cook next time?
I can make a faint musical notes that would go along with any singing that your magical voices would give you. You turn this into a duet.
Wait, you can give me a magical voice?
I can play musical notes while you sing.
Oh,
We've heard you sing, Fragile. You've got a quite magical voice
Yeah,
already.
a recording voice
Huh.
even.
a recording voice. Anyways, yeah, she's going to break out in a kind of an upbeat song because she's kind of in a really good mood. She's got food that was cooked way faster than she ever thought it was going to be cooked, and looks like that maybe we'll have a nice uneventful evening tonight. So she's pretty happy. So she's going to bust out a sailor song, and that she's heard down at the ports in Suzale being sung.
Nice.
What are the odds that I've heard this song before? I never went to.
Long up, DM.
Man, Suzale's really far from Neverwinter. Probably not.
Okay.
You could obviously glean that it's a song about sailing, but you know, it's making reference to ports and landmarks and things that you've never heard of.
I will try to pick up the words and sing along as best I can.
Okay.
Nice.
Once the kind of song gets going, Al's going to find a kind of musical tune to cast in the air to accompany the singing.
Yeah, the song's called the Maid of the Dragonmere.
Nice. The Dragon Mirror.
Recounts the tales.
Yeah, go ahead.
Oh, yeah, recounts the tales of a mermaid who falls dramatically in love with a merfolk, only to find out that he is really a slogan.
Beauty and the Beast.
Unrequited love. So painful.
Unrequited love, yes.
I would. Al, how many inspirations do you have right now?
2.
Okay, so you're full, so you can't get another one. But for Geely, I would like to.
No microwave inspiration.
I would like to award you an inspiration for Geely, for your rabbits and your singing.
Yay. So,
and don't forget, you can also award. You can cross award. one. You can award one inspiration per session to another player character, and in doing so, you're not giving away one of yours. You just get to say, "Hey, you get to have an inspiration," but give us a good reason. Be specific. I want you to reward each other for awesome play. So, and it's nice to see you using them. That's very good. That's why they're there. Okay, so you all have a nice evening of singing and eating nicely cooked fresh rabbit, sunsets. Do you light fire? Anything like that?
I lit one in the stones.
Okay.
Around all the.
Sorry if I missed that.
And right as the sun sets, I will wander off again into the just far enough away from everybody else that I can have some alone time.
Okay. Yeah. Not a problem. You can do that. In fact, you can vanish because of these large stones. You know, if you wander outside the setup here, you won't be seen because the stones would block any lines of sight depending on where you go. Anything else anybody plans to do for the dinner time and the post-dinner time as you start to think about maybe setting up watches and all that again?
No, Calavera keeps going to look out at the view again. It's very nice and she's enjoying it a lot.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's beautiful country.
I don't know how people want to set up watches tonight.
Al's gonna summon his familiar just for a little extra help when it comes to watch. It's a Fey, black house cat named Delphi.
Okay. Easily enough done.
You have a pet with you.
Yes, it is a special little friend that him and I have a very unique bond.
Well, I love him.
Yeah, Delphi kind of comes over. He's not very standoffish. He's not very cat-like. So he just kind of comes around, wants a little pet, belly rub.
Absolutely.
Won't bite your hand or claw the hell out of you because cats are assholes sometimes. He's not like that. He's very cool. And he just looks like a kind of fey black cat, little wisps of hair along out of his ears, and has a slight kind of fayish green glow to him.
Love him.
And then he just does very cat-like things, just kind of hangs out, looks around.
Cat-like things. I like that.
I will go over to Fragile and pull out a bag of ball bearings and say, you think I can get this in the bowl of water from here?
Oh, this is after I've returned?
Yeah.
So like all of them at once, or one at a time?
One at a time.
Oh. How many are you gonna try?
I say we both try, and the first one the last one to get one in the bowl has to, I don't know, what do you think?
The first one in is the winner?
Yeah, the first one in is the winner, and they get something, or the loser has to do something.
About the winner buys the first cupcakes when we get back to town.
I got a big grin on my face. You're on.
Nice.
All right, I will hold the bag out to you. Go for it.
All right. Do I have a target DC there, DM?
How far away are you?
How far away are we? From the north to the south?
Oh,
15
this
feet maybe.
all the way across the ring? You mean?
Is that too far?
Oh,
Yeah, that's not going to work because they face north, and so you'd have to throw it over the top of the stone from 40 feet away and drop it in the. That
Well,
might
I mean,
it might be a bit
no,
much.
I would have. I was thinking we were in the ring. Yeah, I would. I would just like had us go over to closer to them, maybe like 10, 15 feet away.
Okay.
Let's say at 10, 15 feet away, let's say it's a DC of 12.
And this is a. What would this be?
Like dexterity.
Okay.
I think that's probably yeah, because it's kind of like a ranged attack. So let's go with a dex roll.
All right. That's an 18. First one.
Plunk.
Well, I gotta at least try one, right? I will also throw it, and that's a 16. So,
Okay, go again.
first one to miss buys the cupcakes.
First one to miss. Well, wait, if I miss first, you have to go again, don't you?
Fair.
Okay.
Yeah, that's fair.
Bloop. That would be a 20.
Splash.
What was the DC?
12.
Well,
I mean, it's
I
a
throw
it's
it-
a 3-foot bowl.
Yeah. I throw it and it like.
you have a +2 you can add on. You can burn one of our
I've
plus.
got it. I've got it. It kind of skips around the edge, but goes in, like just barely.
Nice,
That was a 13.
nice.
Oh. So this one I tried to get creative and see how much arc I can get on it, and it doesn't really pan out. It actually bounces off of the stone behind it and lands closer to me than it does to the bowl.
Oh, all right. So I just
So
got to get
that
this one
wasn't-
in. And I'm laughing too hard because mine just goes crazy, wild, way off. That's a 6.
Wow. Looks like you are.
Okay, apparently I'm laughing really hard now too. I got myself off kilter. That one was a little low.
Oh, I got mine in. I kind of stop and center myself. I think about the cupcakes, and I just nail it right in the center.
Son of a. Okay, well I guess I owe you cupcakes when we get back, unless of course we find some way to double or nothing later on in our trip. Just saying.
Fair enough. You keep your eyes open.
Maybe throwing daggers.
I'd be up for that.
So while this is happening, Calavera kind of looks over at Gears and Algernon. She's like, is this something that is allowed? Is this a... Because Fragili said that this is a place... You all said that this was a place that was, like, they could do god worship and stuff. Is this allowed?
Julie's like, I don't know. I'll go pick them out though, and I'll leave. I'll leave a silver for Timora when she's done.
Nice.
That one was
But I'm not
Joaquin.
gonna let the group see me put the silver in.
That one wasn't Tamora. It was Joaquin.
Oh, it was Joaquin.
I think so.
yeah.
Yeah, that is what the rest of you said.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Okay. Well, either way, I will slip a silver into Joaquin. Actually, let me make a stealth roll. I want to make sure that nobody sees me do it.
Sleight of hand, probably.
Oh, that's a 10.
Okay. Yeah. Excuse me. It's dark. And they just think you're in there digging out the ball bearings, so that's not a problem getting that silver piece in there. Yep. All right. It's getting on to watch time / bedtime. Does anybody have anything else they want to do? Who do you want to just go in the same rotation again? It was Al and Ronvin with first watch.
Sure.
And then I think it was Fragile and Rue, and then Calavera and Gears. Is that right? All right. So you all bed down. Al, go ahead and roll me perception for your watch. I will roll for that die is caught. I'll roll for Ron.
Can I roll for my cat as well?
Yes.
I got a 10.
Okay.
The cat got an 18.
Okay. So Ronvin sits with you this time and just, small talk conversation, asks you what you think of,
about dinosaurs.
Yeah, the north. And, yeah, she's curious about those. But then she stops and she gets real quiet and she points at the top of one of the stones. And you see the silhouette of a large dark bird on the stone. And she gets the attention of your cat. And the cat vanishes into the night. And then you see a few moments later on the stone closest to it, the tall standing stones, you see the silhouette of your cat slinking along, the bird unaware. And the cat leaps over, and the bird flutters away. And it misses the bird. It lands on the stone, no problem, but it misses the bird. And all is quiet. You just hear the flutter of the wings of this crow, or perhaps a raven, who knows. And that's really the extent of what happens on your watch. It's pretty quiet. Cools off considerably. Once the sun goes down, the fire dies down, and it's time to rouse Fragile and Rue.
So I guess as my watch comes to the end, me and Robin stop making our small talk. I give Delphi a hearty pet on the head for chasing that terrifying bird away, and I guess go and wait for the next two for watch.
Okay. Yeah, so Rue and Fragile, you're awoken by Algernon for your watch.
Alrighty.
Yeah.
If you want to roll...
I'm going to, again, I'll roll my perception, but I'm also going to take care of Clover again.
Okay, yep, that's fine.
I have a 10.
Okay.
I got a 10 as well.
Very good. Yeah, so you two are sitting there, and it's, an hour goes by, it's pretty quiet. I'm assuming these are going to be kind of 3-hour watches, 3 groups of 3. That gets you kind of 9 hours of overnight time. And Fragile, you notice this right away, but you see the silhouette of a familiar avian form on top of one of the stones. Make me a nature with advantage +2. Okay, never mind. It's a raven. You recognize it. Absolutely. There's no point in you rolling for that. You recognize it, and it watches you and it looks at you, and I think you probably saw my last message to you in Zoom. Would that be fair?
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's where that message came to you. That's how that was conveyed to you.
I'm going to kind of bow my head to it and whisper under my breath, safe travel, sister.
Yeah.
And kind of wink up at the bird and go back to taking care of Clover.
Yeah.
But I'll keep an eye on her out of the corner of my eye.
It'll croak loudly after you do that, and you focus back in on the mule. It'll croak loudly and flutter off into the dark. Rue, you just saw an interaction between Fragile.
Yeah.
It looked like maybe she was talking to that bird.
Were you just talking to the bird?
You don't?
No.
Oh. Everything likes
Well,
to be talked to, even the plants.
could you understand? Did it say something to you?
No, she just made me feel calm and peaceful, and so I was just thanking her for those feelings that she gave me.
You talk to all birds like that?
Not all of them. Some of them are jerks.
Yeah, that I mean that's fair. I
Some
mean,
of them are annoying and never shut up.
some of them poop on you for no reason.
And some of them, like Blue Jays, are just nasty,
Yeah,
territorial. They think they rule the world. So it just
that
depends on the bird.
that's fair. You're very you're very in touch with nature, aren't you?
Just birds. Or
Just
just the
birds.
world, maybe. Maybe it's the world. I don't know. Even those stones felt like they wanted to tell me a story, but I couldn't seem to coax a story out of them. Tell you the truth, the bird I really want to hear the story from is Ronvin's, Miss Penny Swoops. I can't wait to
That
hear her story.
that bird is something else. I've never seen anything like that in all my years.
Me neither. But then again, I've never seen anything like uh, I've never seen anything like Gears either. So there's all kinds of mysteries and adventures on this adventure that we're on. Mysteries and adventures on the adventure. Oh well.
I know what you're talking about. This is all pretty new to me.
And for
Yeah. So
Geely, go ahead. Go ahead.
no. Go ahead.
I was just going to say you're showing signs of tired. Your mind is foggy from a long day, and you realize, thankfully, that your watch is up, and it's time to rouse Gears and Calavera.
Gears. Guess what?
Go to sleep.
Oh, did you see the crow?
No,
So you were sleeping.
no.
Well, what the hell are you doing standing up all the time? You're like a horse.
Go to sleep.
All right, you're gonna watch over me. You gonna keep me safe.
Perhaps.
Oh, very non-committal. I like it. I like it a lot.
So Gears gets somewhat of their seated position and moves to Calamera if she's not already up.
No, Frigid Lee's loud enough that she woke up.
And Gears will also look around to see if there's any birds or anything else.
Yeah, go ahead and as you get settled into your watch, the fire is nothing but a handful of coals. Um, it's quiet out, no fog, no mist. It's a clear, starry night. Go ahead and
Um,
roll perception for me, Gears and Calavera.
as I'm settling into my bed for the night, I'm gonna slip Calavera a cupcake to
Thank
munch
you.
on for her watch.
Thank you.
Gears has 21.
21.
Ooh, I got an 18.
Nice.
Nice.
More perceptive.
We're looking.
So you're sitting there, and I presume maybe having a conversation, maybe not. Maybe you're both lost in thought. I know Calavera's had a kind of a stressful time at this little
A day.
campsite here. But you
You
notice a
said you were
shadowy
talking about
movement kind of to the northeast of your position, just outside the ring of stones, and it's near to the ground, kind of darting, and then it stops. It seems to be something that's alive, or I don't know, something that's alive. It's moving, but there's no fire to show you eyeballs or anything.
I mean, Calavera has dark vision if that helps her see
That does.
anymore.
That does. Yeah, you see the outline of a rather large fox and probably half of its length is tail, and it's watching the group. And after a few moments, it kind of slinks off into the dark.
Oh, did you see the fox over there?
There was something. Was it a fox?
Uh, can you not see very well in the dark?
No.
I can make the fire brighter if that would help you out. I didn't think about that. Is that normal for other people?
So,
Huh. Would it help if the fire were brighter?
it would make us more noticeable from the road.
Well, yes, but... Well,
I assume it would actually, because we're up on sort of a
Yeah.
plateau, mountaintop, and a fire in the middle of the night would be like, yeah, there's people up there.
Yep.
We will manage. And from somewhere, Gears drops a torch on the ground and rolls it near the fire in case it needs to be ignited quickly for light. and then patrols around the edge of where everyone is sleeping.
Mm-hmm.
Keeping watch,
Sure.
not being terribly quiet.
Little bull in a china shop sort of a thing. Yeah.
It keeps things away when they know that there's signs of life.
we don't see any more foxes. He scares them away. He's too big. Turns out that Gears is a large mysterious shadow in the night.
Right. Yeah. So the remainder of your watch passes. The sun comes up in the west. It's a crisp, beautiful sunrise as the sky, goes through that where you get just a littlest glint of light, and it just goes all through its phases in a glorious sunrise and a crystal clear morning. And it's just absolutely a beautiful day as the sun gets, halfway above the horizon. Rise and shine, wakey, wakey.
Yep, Calavera will go around, wake people up more gently.
Yep. Okay. Yeah, so each of you that were sleeping are awoken to Calavera coming around to get the day started.
Pick up my torch, sort of stand over it, stoop and pick it up.
Okay. Yep. No problem.
Now weird little way.
It was a nice night. No one got... There was the fox hanging out. And there was a bird. What else could we need?
It was a quiet night on the hill.
Gilly had a conversation with a bird on our watch.
It's the bird?
Seems so.
I'm fairly certain that most birds do not talk, however, perhaps she can speak bird. It is not the oddest thing that I have learned that people can do. Was it a good conversation?
It was. It was. It was basically all is good in the world.
That's good to hear. We saw a fox, but he didn't really stay at all. Just, went off. Had a lot of tail.
I've never seen a fox alive in person.
I've never seen a
That
fox.
would have been awesome.
I've never seen a fox with that much tail.
Oh, I probably wouldn't know the difference.
Well, usually they have maybe... But this one has a more like...
Look at this.
Hi everyone. A peek behind the curtain. I don't know how much tail a fox has.
It's, it's as long as its body. They have a long tail.
Oh.
Oh, the fourth wall.
Yeah.
We're camping outside. There's no walls here.
Only stones.
And Virgili will, in the morning, walk by Miss Penny Swoops and tell her that he cannot wait until she gets her voice.
I think she probably just looks at you and squeaks and moves a little bit stiffly by your estimation. You know, you've spent your fair share of time looking at and speaking with birds, and this one moves a little stiffly, um, makes some weird sounds, like little clicking sounds and things and squeaks when it moves. Um,
The fact that she even responded was going to make Julie really happy. She's going to be very lighthearted all morning
Yeah.
because of this.
Great. So, is anybody going to be doing anything in particular, or is it? Do you want to get on the road, get moving into your second full day on the road?
Rude.
Al checks his spell book once again in the morning. It's exactly as it was the day before. He gives kind of a resigned sigh, closes it back up, and puts it in his bag, I guess, and it just kind of seems down and distant for most of the day, or at least the morning.
Yeah. Okay.
I will go off again and find a spot to sit for a few minutes and not necessarily say anything this time, just kind of contemplate
Gotcha.
before I come back to the group.
Yeah. So you can take a half hour, or whatever, go off and do your morning routine. Anything else anyone would like to do before you break camp and get back headed east in pursuit of one Mr. Spurnick?
I think after the conversation with Rue the day before, Calavera, she goes through her usual thing where she's checking through her bag, you know, all of her supplies are there, her books there and everything. And then she just kind of like takes a moment, glances at like all of these different stones with the symbols on them, and she just kind of takes 5 minutes to try praying to her god. She's not really sure what she's doing at all.
Okay, sure.
And
Yeah.
I'm not sure if anything comes from it, but
So what do you do
it's
to
just
pray?
why not?
Like what is it? What do you do exactly to try to pray?
I think she's sitting off to the side, you know, where she's been. She just kind of, while she's sitting there, she's like absentmindedly, like she's not realizing it. She's like playing with the medallion that's by her side, and then she just like under her breath, she goes, "I'm." So usually when this is happening, I'm asking for some sort of advice or something, but I don't really know if that counts as praying. I haven't really done that before, but I'm not quite sure. I suppose. Hello, I hope you are also having a wonderful day. The sky was beautiful today, and she just kind of trails off. She has not a lot of idea what she's doing here.
Yep, I gotcha.
And she just kind of goes and yeah.
Go ahead and
Basically,
roll.
she just
I was gonna say, go ahead and roll me
sighs.
a percentile.
Okay. I have that, and that is a 96.
Okay. Very good. Okay, so you go through your whatever you decide prayer is, or you know you're not even sure if it's right, like you said. It feels very awkward. You almost feel maybe a little embarrassed. You're hoping that you're like no one's watching. I don't even know if I want this deity to be watching, and it just feels uncomfortable. You certainly don't get any sense of any, nothing strange happens or nothing overwhelms you. But you've made an attempt at prayer, reaching out.
Yeah, I think at the end of it, she just kind of goes, I'm not sure what any of this is, and I don't know why you've decided to do anything with me or what any of it means, but I guess if you feel like filling me in on anything, I would appreciate it. Please, thank you.
Yeah. You get a sense that you're glad you did that. Like, as you're packing up your things for the day, maybe you're, getting your thoughts together, you're done praying, you're back with your gear and so forth, that the more you think about it, you're glad that you did that. Like, okay, I think that was okay. That wasn't bad. I'm glad I did that. I'm not sure why even, but yeah.
How much of that did I see and or hear?
I'll leave that to Calavera to answer.
I don't think she like went off into hiding for it at all. I think she was just kind of it was a decision that was made on the fly sort of deal.
Okay.
So whatever
Okay.
if you saw it, you saw it. She wasn't trying to really hide it that much.
All right. So I presume you all just kind of make your way back out to the trail, the track, and continue eastward. Would that be fair? It's a beautiful, beautiful summer morning. It's 21 flame rule. You see flocks of smallish birds, making for copses of trees to find cover in. Anybody who's paying any kind of attention, you notice a small group of deer bounding through the grass down closer to the river. It's just a nice day. It's dry, not humid. There's a little bit of a breeze today, where yesterday was fairly quite still. Anybody care to make perception? I'm not sure who's going to be paying the most attention to things today on the road. Whoever would like to may. I'm kind of using a.
Will be.
Okay, I'm going to kind of use an ongoing sort of periodic traveling perception. Kind of a casual.
That's another natural 20.
Ooh, I got a 22. I got a nat 19.
Nice, good rolls, good.
You just beat me out there, bud.
Nice. So, I'm assuming Fragile is probably leading Clover with the gear and so forth.
Yes.
It's
Yes.
just another day on the road. It's warm again. Maybe not quite as warm as yesterday. Maybe it's just the difference in humidity. You see larger copses of trees, larger collections of trees. The north side of the road, as you get closer and closer to the mountains, you can see hills, foothills before the mountains. From your map that at some point you have to turn left and north to make your way up into those hills, because that's somewhere in there is where the circle of stones, you guess you're going to, is located. Supposedly where Spurnick was going to be headed. And Calavera and Rue, as you're walking along, I'm going to assume maybe you're in the front of the group, looking intently. You both hear a strange sound that you wouldn't have expected where you are. And it's the sound of the bleating of sheep. In fact, Rue, if you had to guess, you'd probably guess there's 3 of them. And it seems to be coming from somewhere on the north side of the track. Again, it's a little hillier here. There are more trees. I wouldn't say forest, but the trees are less sparse. They're in bigger groups. And that's what you hear.
Are those sheep?
I think so.
Mountain sheep? Is that a thing?
I would not know. Is that... And Calavera turns to look at the others. Is a mountain sheep? Are there usually sheep about here?
I don't know what sheep are they dangerous? Should I be prepared?
Hey, Where he comes from, that is a legitimate question.
Genuinely concerned that you guys are taking this not very seriously.
I can't-
Something vicious could jump out at us.
I can't take this any longer. Al, you're getting special dispensation. You're getting an inspiration whether you want it or not. So for now, you have a third inspiration. But that's a rare occasion. But damn it, that was awesome. That was really good, man.
So the question I have just out of this context is it a panicked sounding sheep cluster, or is it just sort of a bunch of sheep talking to each
Well,
other?
Rue and Calavera, what do you do when you hear the sheep? Besides maybe look at each other like, did you hear that? Yeah, did you hear that?
So which way are they again? Like how
Sounds-
just kind of like turning her head to try to like figure out which way.
Yeah, it sounds like it's a ways off the road, somewhere to the north. Again, it's more grassier to the south and hillier, rockier, tree-eater to the north. It sounds like it's coming from that way off the track somewhere.
Does it sound like concerned bleeding? Are the sheep upset?
Does anyone speak sheep? Anyone?
Well, even animals making sounds, you can tell if it's distress.
Yeah, they're not screaming like they're being killed alive. You know, they're not being like they're not being killed or anything. But
It's not listed in my languages.
yeah, I'm loving the puns in chat. That's very nice. Yeah.
Should we go check it out?
I think I would just shrug. I mean, the sheep, it's weird, but I don't.
Ronvin even looks like
I need to.
with a puzzled look on her face, like like this is weird. She's the one person of the six of you that's from the Dalelands, and she seems confused that there would be sheep bleating out here.
They're not bleeding yet.
She's like, maybe there's a farm. Maybe there's a farm. That's where I've heard
there's
sheep.
people with them. Do people move animals around? Maybe it is that.
She kind of looks at you.
Well, let's go find out.
Could be.
Well, let's. I would like to go check it out.
I will go with her.
Okay.
I would like to take the action. Let's
So
go check it out.
yeah, so you're gonna head to the northish, kind of follow the sound.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Yeah. So what you have there's some rocks, some outcroppings. It's kind of generally goes up. It's a little hillier going that direction. There are some trees. How are you making your way? It's fairly dry, rocky ground. As you go that way, the rest of you, I'm assuming, are staying on the track.
Yeah, bleeding of sheep sound terrifying. I'm gonna hang out.
Gears will follow.
Okay, we got gears. We're fine.
Okay, so Calavera, Rue, and Gears are going to head in the direction of the sound of the sheep. Fragile, Clover, Al, and Ronvin are going to stay on the road.
Yeah.
Okay.
And protect Al.
Protect Al. Very good. Yeah. So as you make your way along through the kind of the trees and the rocks, and you generally go up a little bit, you come over a ridge, and you notice there's a thicker stand of trees off to your north. You're kind of headed northeast as you follow this sound. And it's a little confusing because some of it sounds like it's coming a little bit from northwest, and then some of it sounds like it's coming a little bit from northeast. Anybody who's got a good survival or nature could maybe make a roll.
I could give it a shot.
+3.
That would be
Oh,
an 11 for survival.
17 for Gears for survival.
Yeah, Gears, you're like, oh, it's coming from this way. And Rue is like, what? Because it sounds like it's kind of echoing a little bit. It could be coming from any way. And Gears seems to be, pretty darn sure that it's coming from the northeast. And, so you feel very confident that's the direction it's coming from, Gears.
Gears will start moving off in that direction.
You
Clavin.
know, I trust in Gears.
Okay.
Probably more competent than all the rest of us.
Yeah. Okay. So you make your way, and you've gone maybe 100 or so, 120 yards off the road. You've gone over a couple of rises, and you've come into this kind of this large, almost like a small woods. The trees go on a little way, and you see off in the trees, not too far into where the trees thicken, what looks to be maybe the mouth of a cave. It's a dark opening in the side of a hill, and sure enough, at the edge of the trees, you see 3 sheep that are on ropes. They're staked to the ground, and they're standing there doing sheep things.
Making sheep dip.
Do we see or hear any people?
Fire.
Make me a perception. Sun is fairly high in the sky. It's midday. 11, 12. 12, Rue?
Ooh. That's not very good. That's an 8.
13 for Gears.
Can I roll that too?
Yeah, anybody that would like to, I'm assuming all of you are kind of scouting, looking around.
Let's say 10.
Okay. So you all look around and it's rocky. It's there's not a ton of grass, and here are these 3 sheep staked to the ground. They're not all next to each other, like they're each, in kind of different areas, but they're all staked down. And again, you've got this kind of this opening to this cave entrance.
Are they like in the cave entrance? Like how far from the entrance
Probably 15, 20 feet in 3 different locations away from the cave entrance. And by staked, it just looks like something has driven a piece of wood into the ground, and they're on ropes around their necks.
Any interesting signs of traffic, footprints, carts, animals other than sheep?
Roll investigation for anybody who's going to start looking more intently at the ground or the surroundings.
Not the greatest.
That's better.
Ooh, that's better.
4.
23.
That's a dirty 20.
Okay. Yeah, so Gears, you're not really seeing anything. Maybe it's because the ground you're looking at is hard pan where you are. Calavera and Rue, it looks like the sheep may have been here a little while because a lot of the grass where they are is eaten down. You see, Rue, you notice something in the trees, kind of up in the trees, not far from the cave entrance.
Something, right? Get a sense of, like, is it a figure or?
It's hard to tell because of the shade, the darkness of the trees. But yeah, there's a form that doesn't look like a tree up in the trees. Maybe 6-8 feet off the ground.
I will put a hand on Calavera's shoulder and point. There's something up in that tree.
Yeah, she jumps as he puts the hand on her shoulder. She goes, "Oh,
I immediately
which-
pull my hand back.
oh no, sorry. It's you. You startled me a little bit. Where was?
It's probably about 15, 20 feet to the right of the cave mouth, deeper into the woods than the sheep are.
Rachel. Can she make out anything?
It's hard to tell from where you are. You're probably, I don't know how close you decided to get to the sheep. But again, the sheep are in kind of a, maybe 20, 30 feet out from the front of the cave entrance. This is more beside it in the woods. And I don't know how close you are to the sheep. But it's hard to see, through all the trees exactly what it is. But it doesn't look tree-ish.
I don't know if we should be here. I mean, if there are sheep here, then someone's probably taking care of them. And I don't know if we are intruding.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I don't think.
But also, I don't like the vibe of the tree thing.
Right. And I don't know that. Sorry, I'm blanking. I don't know that Spurnick would have had any sheep, or
be up in the tree.
I mean, I guess if they're
Climbing
related to
materials,
if they're related to these druids, if they have something to do with them, then.
But also, why be in the tree instead of being in the cave?
Right. Seems like a trap.
Gears, do you? I mean, what do you think? Should we head back? Should we just leave? I don't know.
I could sneak up and get a better look. If we think it's important.
I am curious.
What do you think, Gears?
Gears moves toward the figure in the trees with his glaive up. With their glaive up.
Oh, no, hold
No,
on.
wait.
Perception check to see if I can hear what's going on up there.
How far are you from the sheep
Do they
as
stop
you're
when
having
we
this
say that?
conversation? I'll get you in a minute, Fragile. How far are you from the sheep as you have this conversation with Calavera and Rue and
I
Gears?
imagine we stopped as soon as we saw the sheep to try to figure out what was going on.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so
like,
probably
from-
40, 50 feet away.
Yeah.
Maybe kind of staying behind a rock or a tree, that kind of thing. Okay. Yeah. Fragile, go ahead.
I didn't hear nothing.
Yeah.
Nope.
Okay.
So does Gears stop when we say that?
Yes.
Maybe we do not go in looking like we might attack them, because then they might attack us. But if they do attack us,
Perhaps I am not the best suited. Perhaps Rue would be better suited.
I mean, I could probably get close without them seeing me. I'm pretty.
You seem
Pretty
the most
sneaky.
harmless.
I'm not sure that was a compliment, but I'm gonna take it as one. I'll tell you what, you watch my back, and I'm just gonna go see what's going on.
okay. Just be careful. And Calavera will reach out and just kind of like awkwardly tries to like there's the hand on the shoulder. She like tries to return like a pat on the shoulder. And as she does that, so for Goodwill's gonna channel into a guidance.
Nice. Refresh our memory, Calavera, what guidance will bestow upon Rue?
So guidance is a cantrip, so it just is a little bit of extra help. Before the spell ends, you can this lasts for up to a minute. Before the spell ends, you can roll a d4 and add the number rolled to one ability check of your choice. And you can do this before or after making the check.
I definitely kind of look down for a split second at your hand on my shoulder, like, huh, that's interesting.
What?
And then just at the casting of the spell.
Yeah,
Yeah,
she
I'm-
also, like, after she realizes that she does that, she just kind of pauses and, like, oh. I think that helps.
Well, we'll find out. I'm gonna try to sneak closer.
Okay. So by sneak, are you insinuating that you're going to use stealth?
I would love to use stealth.
Okay. Would you like to use your guidance bonus?
I can see what the roll is first, right?
Yes.
Very well. You sure can.
I am not going to use guidance yet. That's a 25.
Nice. Okay. So Calavera and Gears, you're kind of standing there. Maybe you all found a large enough rock that it gave you all cover if you crunch down. And Rue steps away, kind of crouched over. Give us a little description, Rue.
Yeah, you get the impression he's done this a few times. I put away the cloak, and I find all the shadows that I can, and I'm just like very very quickly darting from one spot to another, um, constantly looking back up at the figure in the tree and kind of judging where the next best spot is to go.
Okay. Are you making for the figure? Trying to get close enough to see better what it is, going in that direction, or which direction are you going?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay. So it's kind of
Yeah, I think I would be.
so it's kind of a maybe to the right of the cave entrance. And again, it's 15, 20 feet to the right of the cave entrance in the trees there. The cave entrance kind of the hills kind of come towards you a little bit and slope backward, and that's where the cave entrance is, and then it's kind of surrounded by trees. Yeah, so you can get, and the sheep don't even notice. I don't know if Gears or Calavera are watching Rue, but he vanishes quickly from sight, and you're like, holy crap, where did Rue go? That's amazing.
I'd imagine we try to, but we lose track with a roll like that.
Yeah, no, he vanishes. He absolutely
Yeah.
vanishes. Yeah.
No.
And it's broad daylight, so you're kind of like blown away. Yeah. Calavera, you're probably thinking like, yeah, that was helpful.
I don't know that he didn't use it.
So,
I'm not even sure what I did.
so as you get closer, Rue, you don't have any problem. The sheep don't notice you. They're, bleating and pulling at their rope and looking around and trying to find grass. So you pass, and you actually can pass between two of them to take a direct route toward this thing that's in the trees. And as you're able to get up to about 20 feet and get a good line of sight with nothing in the way. And what you see causes your heart to kind of start pounding, your throat, your mouth get very dry as your heart actually climbs up your chest and up your throat. And what you see is the skinned body of a humanoid. From what you guess, it's hanging from a rope in the trees, suspended, not like it was hung to death like a noose, but hanging there like one might hang meat. And there are pieces of muscle missing. You can easily compare its anatomy to yours and see that it was a humanoid of some sort, probably fairly lithe or wiry, and it's hanging in a tree. It's what used to maybe be its feet, which are missing, appear to be 6-7 feet off the ground, and you don't feel good about it. Like that's not it catches your
Like
breath,
warning.
like, whoa, kind of a situation.
From where I am, can I see into the cave any better?
It's dark. It's a cave. You can see like the floor of the cave, the dirt from where the sun is able to kind of come through the trees, kind of dappled. And it's probably a good 15 feet wide, maybe 12 feet high. It's a fairly large opening, and you can see that it's a cave in there, but you can't really see anything other than the inside of one wall and the kind of the floor. And there's sticks and stones and maybe bones on the floor. Hard to say, but like those little hairs on the back
Yeah.
and that
Yeah.
knot in your stomach. Yeah.
All right. I will turn around and stealth back to the group,
Okay.
or back to Calavera.
Yes. Excellent. As you turn around and stealth back to the to Calavera and Gears, you hear a rather large snap coming from further to the right, back in the trees. A couple of snaps, like something large might be coming through the trees. Gears and Calavera, make me a perception roll.
don't see it. That's another crit shit.
Nice. Makes me happy.
Just not doing well today.
Gears, what you get?
5.
Yeah.
We do not see. We are still trying to find Rue. We are still trying to find him, and it
We're
ain't
looking.
working.
We're looking south to where we came from. Rue's behind us up north. We have
The
no idea
sheep
what the
are
hell's going on.
bleeding. The
Gears.
sheep are bleeding. We're just
Yeah, the
like-
sheep are bleating. Gears, you hear from the left side of the cave, and probably about even where you are, you hear snapping. And something large off in the distance. And that is where we're going to stop right now.
Oh.
Boom!
Can't wait to get surprise rounded again.
Yeah.
You're not
In the middle of the day, no less.
Calavera does not see it.
The dice have not been kind.
Ooh.
Whoo!
These are even like good metal ones too. How
Yeah.
dare.
So there you go.
I've banished all of my metal ones. They don't roll anything over a 10.
Sometimes they like me.
You might want to salvage those for new ones or something. Yeah, that your ability checks today were rather dismal.
I mean,
those rolls.
Outrageous.
I had that one good one.
We've all had a couple, 1 or 2 good ones, but that's about it.
Yeah. So
We
everybody,
didn't have combat today.
you have you have your first official cliffhanger in Mysteries of the Dalelands.
dun, dun,
Nice. Dun dun dun. So Rue gets to feel his heart in his throat for a whole week. And a knot in the pit of his
Yes.
stomach.
Thanks for that.
Now, Calavera and Gears,
Just chilling.
you two don't know what Rue saw. Only Rue knows what Rue saw.
Nope.
And Rue is kind of making his way back
Just hanging
when...
out on the road. We have no idea. What's
And
going
you
on.
three have nothing.
He's
Yeah.
on a donkey.
So, man alive, thank you viewers for hanging out. We're gonna fire off that giveaway here very shortly. So if you want a shot at some a $25 gift certificate to Tabletop Loot, a fine purveyor of dice and other kind of cool things. I think they have some mugs, a few dice bags. In fact, I have a Devin Rue dice bag that I got at Tabletop Loot some time ago. I got my background on, you can't really see it, but this thing holds a bunch of dice and it's got pockets inside, and I know you can get that on Tabletop Loot, and it's all Devin Rue art on the outside. It's a cloth dice bag, so lots of cool stuff. So boy, Chris really wants to see Beholders. Crazy. So that wraps it up for tonight. How exciting, right? Give you all a couple more minutes to get in. Just a couple of quick plugs. We've got more D&D on Wednesday, 7 p.m. Into the Dalelands. We're playing the adventure set that came with the what was that called? The box. I have the box. What is that box called, Andrew? Anybody? Essentials. The Essentials kit.
Yeah, starter set.
Yeah.
Essentials kit.
Essentials kit, yeah. We're playing that on Wednesdays at 7, and then on Sunday we're playing Pathfinder. Wu-Tang Piglet is abusing the hell out of us in some Greyhawk, kind of an homage to classic D&D, only first edition Pathfinder, and it's a blast. So come check those out. And I'm going to go ahead, if nobody else is going to get in the giveaway, you've got like 3, 2, 1 to get in. So I'm going to close the entries out. It looks like we've got like 6, 7 people in there. So let's see who our winner is. And what I'll do once we have a winner is I'll have you message me with your contact info, and I'll buy an electronic gift certificate and get you the code for that. It'll come directly to you from Tabletop Loot. Just again, a thank you to our followers and our subs. And so we will pick the winner. Here we go. See what happens. And
Hey.
congratulations, Rakolai, the artist. Cool. So, Rakolai, hit me up in direct messages in Discord, and we'll get you taken care of with that gift certificate. So, thank you for being a follower, and thank you so much for the amazing art. If you hadn't been told or seen or heard, Rakolai is the artist that did all the art that's the character art that you're seeing in the scrolling center there. So I hope everybody had a good time. Let's go around and do a quick outro. We'll go the opposite direction this time. We'll start with Gears. Just tell us a little bit about who you are, what you are, where we can find you.
Dave, my normal name, Hey Wilson, on most of the socials. Uh, do a lot of IT work, particularly in information management, and I'm really enjoying this game, Scott. So thank you, and thank you all to our participants and people following the channel and watching. It's been great fun, and I really appreciate it. Thank you to the team and the rest of the players. It's been great, and a lot of healing wishes to our missing member, Vivica.
Yeah, sounds like she's got a pretty nasty cold, so hopefully she'll be back among the living next week and back with us. All right, Algernon, Al, tell us a little bit about yourself, bud.
I'm Manny, but I'm not doing this and hanging out with these great people. I am a father and chef in Charleston, South Carolina. I DM a home game as well. And sometime in 2021, I will be coming to a stream with Rhyme of the Frost Maiden, because it really has hooked me in the last week that I had.
Nice.
So, check out for that in 2021.
Cool. I'm looking forward to seeing that. So you're thinking that may be streamed?
I think so. I want to get it out there, and I want to do it. And then my home game, a couple of them, once they kind of dip their toes into just the streaming idea. So I might just kind of do it as a beginner's, no pressure, brand new channel kind of a thing.
Right. I got you.
Cool.
Awesome, man. Well, we'll look forward to that, and we'll plug it, and we'll come over and hang out with you. All right, let's go around to Fragile. Mike.
Yeah, I'm Mike, and I play Fragile. I'm Buckethead Clunk on most of the social media, but I'm not as social media savvy as some others. And I am a sixth grade science teacher and kick-ass grandfather. That pretty much sums it up right now. It's my life. Four granddaughters and a whole bunch of kids that we're just trying to keep safe in school this year.
Yeah, nice, man. Awesome.
Good job.
All right,
Good job.
well done. Rue, tell us a little bit about yourself, Andrew. Are you frozen? Oh, there you are.
I'm
Okay,
Andrew.
looked like you were frozen.
Nope, I'm good. I'm Andrew. I am also known as Fellowship of the Tables, Fellowship OTT on Twitter, where I mostly lurk and retweet stuff. That's about the extent of it. Other than that, I hang out on Discord, active in the Open for Adventure community. Yeah, that's about it. I had a ton of fun tonight. This was a great session.
Good. Glad to hear that. That's awesome. All right, and last but not least, Calavera, Paige.
Hi, I'm Paige. I think Calavera for you all tonight. When I am not here having a great time and noticing absolutely nothing, I'm a lab scientist testing pharmaceuticals and stuff. Or I'm just kind of going through and playing through different games and looking at different cool tabletop systems and different one-shots and just seeing what's out there. There's some really creative stuff.
Yeah, sure is. It's amazing.
You can find me... Yeah, I found one the other day that's like based off the style of telenovelas and stuff. It's like super dramatic. If you want to hear me talk about this kind of stuff, you can find me on Twitter at KeylineCutieBye. And that's about what I got.
All right, awesome. Well, best
Like
wishes.
Andy's all over the telenovela one.
Yep. Yeah, making furious notes.
It's a thing. Like I have so many odd stories about the novellas from like my family that just like the idea of it kind of lends itself to like a very melodramatic like TTRPG that as a concept I think would be like it'd be insane to see.
Yeah.
Much less play. Like just to watch it I'm sure would be like just crazy.
Well, Paige, you'll have to dial us in on some of that stuff. I want to see that. So you're going to be streaming, talking about that stuff?
I'm mostly just kind of clicking through and seeing different things that catch my eye. I think maybe I'll run a game eventually, but I just found it yesterday.
Yeah. Awesome. All right. Well, I'm your host and your dungeon master, Wily Hobbit, also known as Scott, back on Earth. I'm really, really enjoying this campaign. We had a lot of sessions, or a lot of stretches during the session tonight where I didn't have to do anything because the group just runs with roleplay and stuff, and I love that. So what a cool crew here. And it's neat because none of these folks had roleplayed in a game together. You know, I put out a call for some folks to come play in a game, and this is the group we got, and woo, love it. Very, very cool. Just want to market something that's really kind of cool and important coming up here. If you're a fan of classic Dungeons & Dragons in the original D&D setting of Greyhawk, the Uber Gygaxian, old school, basic expert, first, second edition D&D, we have a weekend of Greyhawk coming up, virtual Greyhawk Con. There's information down below the video window here, and I did send a message through chat. I'll send it through one more time, but if you're into that sort of stuff, it's October 2nd, 3rd, and 4th, and we've got dozens of games. You can visit that website and register for the convention, sign up to play in some games. I'll be running a game here streamed on Sunday the 4th of October at 4 p.m. Looking forward to that. There's a ton of stuff. There are panels. There are people that have worked for TSR that are going to be playing in All-Star games. Lord Gazumba, who I believe is still in chat and hosting us, is one of the founders of that feast. So check out his channel as well. He's got a 40-year-long campaign that they still run, based in Greyhawk, that he streams on Thursday nights. Yeah, it's good stuff. And then he's got a Sunday night show, 40 years, yeah. A Sunday night show and a Wednesday night show. They're more like panel discussions about Greyhawk and lore, and it's just amazing. So come check that out if you're into old school D&D, or if you're not and you want to be. It's nice. So you're going to see games in Pathfinder, 5e. I think there might be 3.5, and then there's 1e, 2e stuff. So it's going to be a really good weekend. So come check that out. The details are in chat or down below. So with that, I'm going to launch a raid to my friend Simon up in Canada. So he's probably a neighbor of yours, Dave. Simon is the wandering
country, dude.
The wandering DM. He's over in the east. I believe he's in Quebec or Eastern Ontario. He's got a very similar Canadian accent to yours. So we're going to go raid that, and just want to thank everybody, and we'll see you next Monday.